some reason, I wasn't getting any sound, sound, sound.
Spread along the trade routes they had developed to Byzantium, now Istanbul. As early as 839, Swedish emissaries are known to have visited Byzantium. Not long after, Scandinavians started to serve the Byzantine Empire as mercenaries in such large numbers that by the late 10th century a new unit, called the Varangian Guard, was formed and tradition ordained a large number of Scandinavians. This offer of employment in the Varangian Guard drew so many Swedish men that a new law had to be passed to limit this loss of manpower. The Vestgotalagen law stated that any man staying in Greece, the term used in Scandinavia to refer to the Byzantine Empire, could not inherit. This drain was made worse by the heavy recruitment from two other European corps, the Kievan Rus between 980 and 1060, and England from around 1013 to 1066. The Thingmen, or Assembly Retinue Unit, served under the Kings of England and included a great number of Norwegians and Swedes. They were paid via direct taxation to protect England against other Viking raiders. The Vikings proved to be effective mercenaries across Europe. In the early Viking period, raiding and trading was a seasonal activity and was by no means the only occupation for Viking men, many of whom were farmers and craftsmen. Those that did raid and trade did so in the raiding season. That is, the warmer months of the year when calmer weather would enable the pillaging of the coasts along the North Sea and English Channel and trading across much of Europe and into the Middle East. Then they would return to Scandinavia for the winter months when bad weather made sailing inadvisable. But the seasonal interactions with the coasts of England, Scotland, Ireland and France were to become something much more permanent, as, later in the period, the Vikings chose to settle more permanently in some of the places they raided. The late 9th century, around the time that Rollo was born, saw the rise of the largest Viking settlement outside of
It's quite
Scandinavia,
interesting, isn't it,
the
Jeff?
Danelaw in northern and eastern England. The invasion of the Great Heathen Army, also English chronicles called the Viking Force,
Great
into
Heathen
England
Army.
ended in a peace in which Viking control was solidified in the region which became known as the Danelaw, with its centre in Jorvik, now York. This region experienced increased Scandinavian settlement and a combining of the two
Did you
cultures
hear
and
me speak
languages,
then?
resulting in an Anglo-Norse dialect that is still evident in place names in the north of England today. As the population in Scandinavia increased, Viking warriors
I can't hear you,
increasingly
though.
sought to move to the nearby British Isles,
Oh.
where they had once sought glory
What's
and
that?
treasure, to now
What's that?
take
Oh, I'll
up
turn
more
that off.
peaceful.
Yeah. Okay, now we can test that. Testing, testing. It's quite interesting about Rollo. Huh? It's good. Sweet. Nice, nice. Oh, that's cool. It's almost live. Oh, really? The audio? Video. The video. Oh. Yeah, yeah. I'll just talk away. This is a documentary on Rollo the Viking, father of the Normans. It was fascinating. I have traced my heritage back to my father's side. My name's Morell, so Murrell. But look, I went back and researched where that came from, and they started talking that it was from the Normans in Normandy. Morel, like, it had many different spellings, but the root surname is Morel. yeah, so that's pretty cool to trace back. And I'd love to know more, actually. That's hence why I'm watching this video right now. Yeah, super interesting. It's really cool to look back in your own past and understand where your heritage comes from. Yeah, so I've got this Norman heritage, which now I'm fully interested because the Viking father of the Normans, Rollo, Teo, our dog, is barking. Teo! Dogs love to bark. Now they're all off. Dogs in packs, that's what happens. Hey! God. Dogs in packs, Jules. We got, because two dogs arrived today with someone who's staying here for a few days, but you know when they get to, I think when dogs get to more than three, they start to pack together and almost misbehave. They rowl each other up, stir each other up. They're being part of the gang. Yeah, I've just run inside. I'd love to have a camera so I could show you guys what was going on here. Look at that. Okay, well, can you hear me, Jeff? Jeff, is that working? All right, here I just started chatting away. Forgot about what I was doing.
Yes. Oh, mate, fixing up your neck, I tell you what.
Oh yeah?
Oh, fuck it.
Amazing.
Yeah, I feel like
He's
I've
amazing.
40% more blood in my brain, you know?
Yeah. It's probably been stopping a lot of flow.
Yeah.
Yes, you said, Jeff, can you hear me? And I said yes, but it was 30 seconds ago.
Oh wow.
But no, but it is coming through. Well, it seemed to go away. Sorry, no, I corrected myself. I knew it was Riley. I knew it was Riley. It seems to be working.
You know what? So you just called me the wrong name. You called me Phoebe. I ain't no Phoebe. Feel Phoebe.
Sorry, because his own granddad called him Brian when he was like 7.
All right, so we're getting there. The podcasting is happening, but obviously you shouldn't walk away too much from the video. No content, then we lose all our viewers. All right, so I'm just still getting set up. Let's listen to a bit more of the Vikings.
Of the coasts along the North Sea and English Channel, and trading across much of Europe and into the Middle East. Then they would return to Scandinavia for the winter months, when bad weather made sailing inadvisable. But the seasonal interactions with the coasts
I love this
of
guy's
England,
accent.
Scotland, Ireland and France were to become something much more permanent.
And the words he uses.
Later in the period, the Vikings chose to settle more permanently in some of the places they raided. The late 9th century, around the time that Rollo was born, saw the rise of the largest Viking settlement outside of Scandinavia, the Danelaw in northern and eastern England. The invasion of the Great Heathen Army, also English chronicles called the Viking force, into England ended in a peace in which Viking control was solidified in the region which became known as the Danelaw, with its centre in Jorvik, now York. This region experienced increased Scandinavian settlement and a combining of the two cultures and languages, resulting in an Anglo-Norse dialect that is still evident in place names in the north of England today.
Hello.
As the
Hey, how's it
population
going?
in Scandinavia increased, Viking warriors increasingly sought to move to the nearby British Isles, where they had once sought glory and treasure, to now take up more peaceful pastimes, such as farming, and settle there permanently. Viking navigators voyaged north from the English coast and began opening up new lands, resulting in settlements in the Shetland, Orkney and Faroe Islands, Iceland, Greenland, and, for a short while, Newfoundland. The Vikings were the first Europeans to reach North America when they briefly settled in Newfoundland, which they called Vinland, around the year 1000. Viking settlements were also established along the important waterways of Eastern Europe, including near the Dnieper River, an important trade route which connected Scandinavia, Kiev and Rus, and the Eastern Roman Empire, as well as the Volga River, which crossed modern-day Russia, Belarus, and Ukraine. In this region, the Viking Rurik dynasty ruled Kiev and Rus from 862 to 1598, when they were replaced, after the time of troubles, with the Romanov dynasty in Russia. They took control of territories in Slavic and Finnic-dominated areas of Eastern Europe and annexed Kiev in 882 to serve as the capital of the Kiev and Rus. The age of Viking expansion had a long-lasting legacy. From these Viking colonies, connections and settlements, many later communities and groups emerged.
Amen.
From the Normans of Normandy and England and the Norse Gaels of Scotland and Ireland to the Rus people and islanders like the Faroese and Icelanders. The ruling groups, as well as the general population of many of these countries, such as the current royal family of Great Britain or the Romanovs of Russia, were descended from these Viking settlers
Wow,
and
that's interesting. I'm gonna have
invaders.
to rewind that. It wasn't actually this.
During the Viking age in which Rollo lived, the present, which they called Vinland, around the year 1000. Viking settlements were also established along the important waterways of Eastern Europe.
Fascinating. The Vikings were very dominant
Trade route which connected Scandinavia
through the
Kiev and
9th,
Rus
10th,
and the Eastern
11th, 12th
Roman
century.
Empire, as well as the Volga River, which crossed modern-day Russia, Belarus, and Ukraine. In this region, the Viking Rurik dynasty ruled Kiev and Rus from 862 to 1598.
Wow,
when they
that's
were
700
replaced
years.
after the time of troubles with the Romanov dynasty in Russia.
After
They
the
took
time of
control of
troubles.
territories in Slavic and Finnic-dominated areas of Eastern Europe and annexed Kiev in 882 to serve as the capital of the Kiev and Rus. The age of Viking expansion had a long-lasting legacy. From these Viking colonies, connections and settlements, many later communities and groups emerged. From the Normans of Normandy and England and the Norse Gaels of Scotland and Ireland to the Rus people and islanders like the Faroese and Icelanders. The ruling groups, as well as the general population of many of these countries, such as the current royal family of Great Britain or the Romanovs of Russia, were descended from these Viking settlers and invaders. During the Viking age in which Rollo lived, present-day nations of Norway, Denmark and Sweden did not exist. The general Scandinavian region was loosely united through its similarities in culture.
So the dogs are going crazy tonight. Not sure why. Alright, that's enough about the Normans.
Why it is difficult to tell exactly where.
Fascinating, fascinating. I'm really interested in the history, like European history now. Especially, it started with going back to Rollo and the Vikings that came into northern France and were given land by the French king. Yeah, given land by the French king, and then they created Normandy. And the fascinating thing is, like, in such a short period of time, they became very powerful. Like, they integrated into French society. Like, it's like these Viking raiders were very intelligent. They had systems that they incorporated straight away into building a country, like, or a state, Normandy. Yeah, and then they settled in like 1066. They invaded England and took over England. Like, it just was it happened so quickly. Their influence. They went to Sicily and kicked out the Muslims. Yeah, they really made a big influence on, you could say modern day now, because of their actions in the 10th century. really want to know more about it. So yeah, that's the beautiful thing about YouTube now, is that we can so easily find this amazing content. The creators like just sitting in their living room creating these amazing history videos. Because I think what's happening now is there's more and more truth coming out about history. Like a lot of history, I believe like a lot of our history has been hidden from us, or like changed, twisted a little bit. So now it's up to us to like rediscover that history, the actual truth of what happened. Because I believe our history is way more amazing, and like there were way more amazing cultures, and the people were way more amazing than we're led to believe. You know, this idea of like barbarians, you know. The Gauls were barbarians. The Romans called them barbarians because they had long hair. You know, but this is the point. We're told that barbarians are low conscious people. They just, you know, kill animals and eat meat around a fire and grunt. You know, that's the type of idea we've been programmed into our minds to think. But what about the other possibility that they were highly spiritual, highly conscious people? And that's because they had to be able to survive in this world where there was so many other, you know, nations. There was so many other cultures, and you were going to be clashing with them all the time. So you had to be the best. Like you had to have done the spiritual work. Like the more spiritual work I do, the better I become. The more I make the right decisions, the more I'm in a joyful state. The more the less fear I have inside me. The more I'm in the present moment. Like these things are the important things that will make you a better warrior, but it'll also make you better at living in your tribe or your community. Make you better at sitting on a boat for 10 days crossing an ocean. Like there's more harmony in consciousness. There's more wisdom. There's more stories. There's more, you know, just connection with others. It's just easier to connect. Yeah, so I believe that we were a very, like, especially like the Vikings they had something special. They discovered something special. And that was how to raise consciousness of its people. And I talked the other day about the tribes, and how being in a tribe there's more harmony the more conscious the people are in it. So there's a definite benefit to designing your tribe to raise consciousness. So that means that, you know, the spiritual path is for everybody. And you see that in Thailand, you have the Buddhists. Like rather than army service, like a Thai boy is expected, I think it's like 1 year as a monk. Like this is the sort of thing that probably happened in these tribes. That everyone went through the spiritual path. They also were warriors as well. And I feel like that warrior, you know, the martial artist, the warrior, being that martial artist, you connect in. You becoming the martial artist, the master of a particular type of field, you know, archery. Like it is a way to connect into the divine, and you naturally raise your consciousness by learning the art of that martial art. So it's like goes hand in hand. You create warriors, and you create connected people to nature. You get people that are full of love, but also full of, you know, bravery and courage. So it's in the best interest, and I feel like the Normans, like, for them to come into France and then suddenly, like, it's almost like overnight, start to make huge changes in Europe. A lot of the Normans were were king's guards. So there's all these like they were filtered out all through Europe. And I'm proud to say that I traced my heritage back to well, my last name is a Norman name. So that's a good way to remember, good indicator that that's where I come from. My family was also from my dad's family. They come over on a boat here in 1850 with like 6 kids. But they were from Norfolk. So Norfolk, Norman folk, North folk. So I would say that some of these Normans settled in this area in Norfolk. There's also a place, I always remember, King's Lynn. I think it just sounds very, holy, I guess. Sounds like a place where the king would live. And maybe a fantasy book I read in the past there was a place called King's Lynn. Anyway, that resonated with me. I can't wait to go and visit. But yeah, I do definitely have this calling towards Brittany and Normandy. Yeah, really fascinating. I also had I might as well be open. Like I had a childhood regression therapy, where you look at yourself as a child and see where you're still holding on to, fears or trauma or guilt, these sort of things. And that was okay. But she asked me, "Is like, can you remember any of your past lives?" And I was like, it was like, how do you remember that? How does that come to you? And so, but I had this memory, like it was a memory, but it could possibly have created it in my own head. But I do, like, I know that reincarnation exists. So if that's the case, then yeah, of course we have past lives, and of course we may remember them. Like they said that the Buddha when he attained enlightenment, he saw all his past lives in an instant. And like, so it says it in, it's a Buddhist belief. So there's another clue. Okay, maybe that is the case. So we can remember our past lives. Yeah, so So yeah, she asked me, what do I remember? And I remember being it was like I was in a battle in France, and I was like an English bowman. It felt like I had a big bow, but there was a French knight that was routing. How they run as they're to escape on his horse, and he ploughed through the archers and like got his sword, and he basically like cut my arm off. This arm, my right arm. Yeah, but there's no pain or anything attached to that. Yeah. Hello. Lots of people. Hey guys. Come in, make yourself at home. Yeah. Yeah. So there was no pain, there's no emotion. Just the feeling of like putting my hand up to stop the guy as his sword come down. Yeah. Oh, Jules is playing. What a legend. And there's about 20 people just turned up, so that's cool. They're just doing... That's cool. Yeah, so at the moment we've got a few campers staying, which is really great because they get to experience this place. They get to see it get to feel the vibe, and see, you know, the importance of this community connection. It's fucking so powerful. So powerful. This is like how it should be, and we should be like looking at the past. I know I've just digressed to a different topic again, but digressed. Did I digress? No, I just moved to a different topic. Maybe a better topic. Yeah, in the past, the cultures celebrated so much more. They'd have big ass parties. Like, they would do it really well. Like real parties where people can just had a ball for days. Let loose, you know, let loose. So, yeah. So it's pretty cool. What is pretty cool? It's pretty cool that we get to recreate this. This is the dream, you know? Recreating the tribe, but also recreating the celebration. Like the celebration of life. And then the celebration of family and love. There's so many different activities you can do on a daily basis, but weekly, but yearly, but 6 monthly, but every 5 years, you know? And then you just bring all the tribes together. And maybe that's what the Olympic Games was, right? The Olympic Games was when all the tribes came together and they competed. But maybe it wasn't just about sport. Competed in debate. Competed in spiritual, debate. And you could have all these type of spiritual games as well. Consciousness raising games. Competitions, yoga, you know, like I think that's how it was. Now we've retained some of the athletic events, but none of the spiritual events. But yeah, we should be doing all sorts of things, cool things, connecting with nature, using your magical powers to move rocks, or who knows, fuck, it's just like, I could see that. I could see that there was way more than we've been shown. Way more amazing, interesting, exciting things than we've been shown. It's like we've been shown this dull world. So dull. You know, that it's so dull that all you've got to do is sit at home and watch TV every night. Read the newspaper every day. Like, the world is so fucking dull. But then you come here and you get people into a community, and every night is different. Different people, different sounds, different games being played, different food being cooked, and then just different people, because not everyone is here every night. It's like always different. And Jules is playing now. Fuck yeah. He's really coming out of his shell. It's fucking awesome. Super talented man. Yeah, super talented. Amazing man. This is the beautiful thing, is you have amazing people. We're all amazing. We're all amazing, but it's only when they're allowed to shine, feel safe, that they're in a family of non-judges. Yeah, everyone just accepts each other for who they are. Now that, you know, is what it's about. And this idea of like really connecting like family brings so much benefit. Like, so much benefit to mental health, like to feel like you're even wanted, that you're admired, that you're like, if you're in a tribe and your role is to catch the fish, you know, people appreciate that. You know, like, you are part of it all. Where the problem is now in this world, it feels like we're not making any difference. We're not helping anybody. We're just fucking, what are we doing? We're just floating and floating along. without really making any impact on the world. Or, you know, that must be one of the worst things for people to die like this, like to die as a like lonely person. You know, you've just lived your whole life. It's like, what have I done wrong that I'm dying and there's no one around me? Wouldn't it be much more fun to have 1,000 people cheering, right? And having a huge party for your death. Like, to me, that would be an indicator of that life was, you did a fucking amazing job. That you really made the most of life. And you contributed in such a positive way that people want to celebrate you. That they want to celebrate your life. Because you were such light. You know, that's to me, there you go, that's a successful send-off. And unfortunately, most of us don't ever get, well, I don't know too many people that are like celebrated on their death. You know, I don't think I've known too many. My mother, when she died, I celebrated her death, her life, because she had cancer and she just fought like she was. Long story. But my sister passed away suddenly at 19, and me and my family my mum and dad were working in Nigeria, in Lagos, and my sister and me, she was 2 years younger than me. I was 19, she was 17, and she and myself went. Well, we went to the interesting thing is we went to an infectious diseases clinic and asked to have all the vaccinations that we needed to have. And I distinctly remember about them in regard to malaria, because the specialist said, "Hey, Jesus, hey."
Top 5 gangster motivators. Number 1.
The fluffy cord?
Number 2. Blue
I
dog.
put the cord with the phone. I'll have it turned on.
It's a lot of two bigger hamburgers for everyone. Is it good? Yeah. You don't like that. She's happy. You're happy. You're worried. You're worried.
That would be mum. Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
Is this already here? Okay, we're missing our board, but I think it got taken out of that.
That's
Not yours, yeah. Yeah.
On a unrelated subject,
Do you get a 6? Yes. Count me a
Really?
6 from where I am now.
8 in the morning.
The one in blue. No, the one in blue. Yep. Oh, okay. She took me out. I will take her out.
Hello, really? You used the card.
Yep. Do me good. Do me good food.
name calling is allowed at this.
I used to work with kids, so it's like, I'm not balanced. Oh, fine. Yeah, let's go. We're on. You didn't stop fucking around. Do not get a 2. There's no 2s.
Where did you put it?
Yeah.
So set up here. Oh yeah. All right. Sorry, I'm back. Got caught chatting. Ran off after the dogs, and then got caught chatting about. And I just did the elevator pitch of building tribes to friend Tyson. It's good. This is the thing: is you've got to talk about your dreams, because the more you talk about it, the better you manifest it. You know, like it becomes like that elevator pitch. What I just told Tyson, like quite concisely, was something that I wasn't able to. It was a lot long-winded before. Sometimes it take half an hour, and then people get bored, and and get confused. So, yeah, that was cool. So yeah, that's the thing. When you're trying to sell something, a new idea, it's very difficult because you've got to break through people's boundaries. And a lot of humans have this. They don't dream big. They don't think dreaming big is possible. So when you tell someone this a huge dream, there's almost an instant wall goes up, and then they don't listen anymore. So yeah, so how do you pitch an elevator pitch to somebody? You got like 2 minutes, and you got to like use all the right words and the right descriptions, but also not get them to the point of building a wall up. And you want them to keep listening to you. Yeah, really cool. So I'm talking on the podcast because I'm learning to be able to speak better, to express my views better. Yeah, and it just feels very cool. I love it. I have lots to say and lots to share. And the sharing is coming from a place of, for those who want to listen, and it's my sharing of my wisdom. Yeah, my wisdom of my travels, on my journey of wisdom, of my journey of truth seeking. Yeah, the world's a fascinating place, and I've had such a fascinating journey from being a kid to, started school in Malaysia. Yeah. But I was telling you about my sister who I lost. And I originally was telling you about my mother. But yeah, my sister died suddenly from malaria. And yeah, there's a whole story. There was a coronial inquest. But yeah, I'm going to tell that story another day. Because yeah, there's a lot in there, and I'd like to take a bit of time to talk about it, actually. So yeah, but I guess the story, where I started was with my mother. She was dying, and she was she was very troubled after my sister died, and very heartbroken. And then she got cancer, which was from that heartbrokenness, and because my sister was very special, a very special woman, a very special girl. She was an angel, like a true angel. And actually, I've got a photo here. This is my sister. Look, she's an angel, absolute angel, and touched so many people on the short time that she was here. So many people. And I realize, only as I reach, higher heights of consciousness, I realize how special a woman she was now. As my sister, I didn't see it. I knew she was very loving towards me. But yeah, I didn't see just how special she was. She was a real, angel's the best way to explain it. Just always kind heart, giving, caring. Yeah. So unfortunately she passed away, suddenly from malaria. And as I say, that's another story. But yeah, that was my wake up. That was my wake up into, whoa, where are we? What is this? Her dying so suddenly, it was like, I'd never even contemplated death in that way. Like someone so close to you, just disappearing, It's so funny that it just occurred to me, they said that the Buddha, he was told as a prince that there was no death, and there was no aging, and that it was just a life of joy and bliss, and But then he went outside the kingdom, and he saw an old man, and he was shocked, and his driver, who was sworn to never tell the Buddha the truth, said, "Oh, sorry," or I think something along this line, and then he said, "Sorry, sir, but death is real," and then the Buddha was just shocked. Anyway, getting back to when my sister passed away, there was that sort of feeling of whoa, where does death? And I'd been born up in a family of zero religion, the Australian religion, but no talk of God or anything. So, yeah, it was a big shock. And then I went and saw a chaplain, a priest, because I couldn't sleep at night. I was scared. And he taught me. I don't know what he said to me. I don't really remember, but it definitely made things a little bit better. He gave me a bit of sense of security. That things weren't. You didn't have to worry too much. But anyway, so that was my on my quest. where the quest began. So, getting back to whatever point I was on. So beautiful. We got people sitting around the fire, laughing. Lots of smiles, little groups of people. I wonder, with the Buddha and his kingdom that was of this place of joy and happiness and no death. I was like, maybe it did exist. Maybe his kingdom was like that. Inside the kingdom. Right? It's like the fairies reigned. The fairies reigned inside his kingdom. And, the fairy world existed. But obviously they were humans, but there was just magic. Why is that not possible? Why is it not possible to have a kingdom? A fairyland kingdom? Maybe this is what all the people have been telling us in the past of fairy tales, that fairy tales existed once. There were magical kings and queens. There was magical places where everyone was in a joyful state. Maybe that's what that's a similar thing to what the Tibetans call Shambhala. This place of higher beings where they're highly conscious beings that are just in joy, or like the elves of Rivendell. Reach this state that they just love play music. They just love life. The more I meditate, the more I feel like that's actually possible. Because as you spiritually progress, and this is coming from experience, as you spiritually progress, you naturally become more joyful. Less affects you. You're just in a state of wonder. It's wow, how is this? How amazing is this world? Yeah. And then with that amazingness, you see these amazingness things that you want to create these amazingness things. So it's everyone should be seeking that higher consciousness, higher wisdom, higher truth. Yeah, because it just makes everything better. And it's simply this is the crazy. I even think our view on what enlightenment is been fucked over and skewed. If you think of consciousness simply as understanding, understanding, and there's all these different layers of understanding, that's truth. But there's a truth that's here, down low. I can't know if you can see. There's a truth here, but there's fucking thousands of truths above that. It's just and the higher you understand, the more wisdom you have, the more knowing of how the universe is, the more you attain these higher states of joy and bliss. Because you're fuck, we're living in a wonderland. Everything is wonder. Awe-inspiring, you can get to that state. So, but every one of us can. This is the thing. But we've been shown that it's a 1 in a billion chance that someone's going to become enlightened. But what is enlightenment? That's something you have to ask yourself. And it just means that you've reached more wisdom. You've got more knowing. And you get to a certain point of knowing that you are at one with everything. because you've been given this, you've attained wisdom, steps of knowledge, experience, life experience. Everything is moving you slightly higher until you get to a certain level, but there's more levels above, that you know that you're at one with everything. And then you know nothing's going to upset you anymore. Nothing. You just be in a state of wonder. Everything, every human, right? Every human is like, wow, you're interesting. You're interesting. Yeah. Hey, Clem. How you going, man? I'm doing a podcast. Podcasting. Yeah, hey. Yeah, look. Hang loose.
You're nice?
Yeah.
Yeah?
On YouTube.
Talk with people?
No, not yet. I'm just talking to myself. I'm just like, it's good, man. I quite like it. Yeah, but you can sit down and we can talk if you like.
And then you're online like that.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, we're online now.
And then you see people coming and then...
Yeah, if people come, yeah, and they can write comments and...
Can they talk?
Not talk, but I'll show you. I love it, man. I'll show you. So live. So this is live now, right? It's pretty funny. Because it's like, I think it's like 30-second delay.
No shit.
Yeah, and it's recording, so it's like, yeah, so it's going onto YouTube right now.
Wow.
Yeah. And see what you can do, like you can have chat, so people live chat somehow. Welcome to live chat. But yeah, so people can get on and actually be typing like live, so they can ask you questions and do all sorts.
And then you
interact.
talk to them by
Yeah,
the
yeah.
by the message. And
Yeah, so you know, still learning how to use it, but I'm not sure what's going on with that. It says one watching, so that's us. But yeah, man. So
how many cameras you have? One?
well,
Only
just
one?
this one, but
Just
you
that
can
one?
have more. Like
And
Jules
you-
has got he said he's got a GoPro fisheye.
Yeah? Oh,
It'd be great
nice.
to have it like looking into there.
With open
Yeah.
angles.
And you can set the mics up so you can have a mic over there. You just turn it on and off. Like if the band wants to play, you know, okay, we'll put the band on. So and then you could do like a DJ set, you know.
No.
Yeah. It's
You can plug 6 mics.
6 mics. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
It's fun, huh?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so like the idea is that so put those on because it's kind of fun. And then put that on, turn that on.
Oh merde.
That's okay.
Unplug my headphones.
That's okay. Getcha. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear you? Huh?
I can't, I'm not sure I can hear you.
How about you?
Because,
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
now.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wow. I feel like I want to sing something.
Exactly. Yeah, it's different because you get into this world then. Everything behind you is gone. You know?
Cool.
Yeah, it's fun, huh?
Yeah.
And it's pretty chill.
I like that.
Yeah.
So we need to do something.
Exactly. We can do so much. This is it. Like
Wow.
you could I was wanting to do this every night. You know, like a show from maybe 8 to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just talk.
And
Right.
you have four
Four mo-
spots.
Yeah.
And then
And then after 10, someone could do have a talk as well.
talk or DJ or
DJ. Yeah, anything.
bring the jammers.
Yeah, you could read a book.
Oh.
Right? So much. Anything.
That thing's spinning as well.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. It's just on that rod there. Everything's spinning.
Gentle.
Yeah, so the potential is so much, and it's such a great. I was saying to the audience before, the more you talk, the better you get at it.
And how you bring people in the audience? How people is coming?
How do you find them?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the next question. But I think you just got to start the content. You got to start doing it,
Huh?
and then somehow you get the people.
It's funny. I never see that on YouTube. Like you can bring a live things and then boom
Right.
and following live
Yeah.
things.
Well, you can do it with TikTok now, and
You told me about
Yeah.
it was things on TikTok.
yeah,
I still haven't.
yeah. But
go for.
you can live stream off like a whole heap of different streams now. Yeah. So if you've got that connection to the internet, you can do so much now if it's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like we've got this Starlink, you know, the Elon Musk Starlink
Yeah.
satellite on the roof.
Huh?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
You fit that? You fit that already?
Yeah. So it's sitting on the roof here. So that's why we've got good internet.
Now the starting things is on.
Yeah.
The stuff you were talking about last month.
Yeah. Oh, we've had it a few months. Yeah.
What is the thing about Starlink? What's
it's
going
from
on?
basically it's this heap of satellites going around the Earth, and it allows Wi-Fi.
Huh?
Yeah, and so you can actually, if you could put that dish on your car, you could almost go anywhere in Australia now.
From
and
satellite.
from a satellite.
You grab straight on the satellite.
Yeah.
Around.
So the package though is unlimited data, and you don't have the speeds are faster than the mobile the broadband network, and it's like $150 a month. It's suddenly we've just like only 3 months ago got this ability to stream.
Damn.
You know, we couldn't have done it before that. Yeah. So it's like a really powerful thing, and it even circumvents the Australian government, like the firewalls that the government of Australia have. It just goes straight to Elon Musk's network in
so
the US.
it's Elon Musk
Yeah.
built that things.
Yes.
So if I go in the middle of the country, I gonna have the same reception as
Same
here.
reception. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you don't
See-
care about the reception anymore.
No. That's it. That's a game changer, right? You could do it like a stream, some doof in the middle of the country, right? I don't know. Like you could just stream anything you want
Wow.
live.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's really powerful. Like there's all this unrest in Iran at the moment, and Elon said that they're going to have 30 satellites over Iran to help with people being able to access the internet. Yeah, outside the Iranian, because they've locked. They can't communicate with the outside world.
Like North Korea.
Yeah, like North Korea, that sort of thing. So now, this system, it can really change things, because the governments don't have as much power.
They can't manage the things coming from. It's no more antenna managing
Yeah.
inland. It's things happening
Yeah.
outside the country. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like Iran, you know, like they shut the internet down. Then if people have got photos to show the world and they can't get it to them, but if you've got this satellite system, then you can send it easily. You know, so the information gets out there.
No more restriction, no more like
Yeah, they can't
controlling
lock
things.
you anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's really powerful. And I read somewhere he's bringing out a phone that is connected as well.
What? Just one phone.
Yeah.
You need the phone.
His phone that he's going to bring out
Okay.
will be connected to the
Okay.
satellites too.
New sort of phone.
Yeah.
Putain.
I
Like
know.
satellite phone.
Hey?
Satellite phone.
Yeah.
Okay. We already have that sort of satellite phone on the boat
Sure.
and
Yeah, with the big antennas.
yeah,
Yeah.
something like that
Yeah. But like the one of this.
with
Just
screen.
a normal. Yeah.
Okay.
Just smartphone.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that could be cool. Because you imagine get a few of those phones to someone in Iran, and then they can take photos and they can record stuff and then send it straight.
Yeah, but in between
Yeah.
they're gonna probably build a new firewall or something.
Well, I'll try, I guess. Yeah. Start shooting down satellites, maybe.
No.
Who knows? But yeah, it's a real game changer. Like freedom of information, being able to get information to the world is super important.
Yeah, sharing the moment and
Yeah, because now we're all connected. Like you can get a message to the whole world
Yeah.
pretty quick.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in fucking 20 minutes
Yeah.
probably. Yeah. So it's pretty cool if you've got the access.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 20 minutes. It's 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
I see a cat. I love that cat. I'll show you, bam, look
So-
that cat.
Totally. Yeah. That's exactly right. So it's like
That's not-
if you've got the connections online, you have a lot of power, right? Yeah. So that's a good thing to be doing podcasts. It's like to get the connections of people around, to know everyone.
keep flowing the things. Okay. Ah, cool. Yeah. Nice. Oh.
Yeah. So. Yeah. No, we gotta get the message of this place out to the world. That's the key. Is like it's showing people how like community can be. Yeah. So I've been doing this podcast because I've realized the way that we like change the world, and it's to build tribes again. Yeah, and so I've been talking about that.
Okay. By your own?
Hey,
You've been talking by your own like that? Just talking the things you had on them?
you know, like building just how to build the tribes, big tribes
Okay.
of like bringing people together to live together, but not like a community, but a tribe. You know,
What-
thousands of people.
The thing is, make the difference between a community and a tribe gonna be the quantity of the people you mean?
Yes, the quantity. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the number of people.
Okay.
That's sort of the way I see community. It's like maybe 50 people
Okay.
community,
Okay.
and
then
then
last year we were more like as a tribe,
oh
like when you was
yeah,
campaigning.
that felt like that.
Okay.
felt
yeah.
more like a
It
tribe.
was more like
Yeah.
that actually,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
something.
yeah, like lots of different people,
Yeah.
but you still felt like connected
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah. It was
Everyone.
that flow coming, and then we were all together but all different, and just flowing, cruising, and
Yeah,
connected.
and that's what I think it used to be like. Like that's how we used to live.
Yeah.
You know,
Free and
free, and we
Active,
would
yeah.
then have parties
Yeah.
every like week or
Yeah.
2 weeks, and
animals.
so I've told the story. I'm going to tell you. This is the pitch for what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So, you know, like what I learnt here is that you can't have everyone living in the same spot because you've got different people. You know, like you've got say farmers, or you've got musicians, and they just can't live in the same spot. They might be the best of friends, but the musicians want to stay up late, and the farmers want to go to bed early, get up early, right?
Then you need a big land.
Right.
Big enough
Yeah.
to keep them out.
So this is the point that the ancient builders of tribes they worked out a system, the best system for building for a tribe to survive and be the optimum tribe, because you want to be the tribe that wins. You know, you want to be
Wins
the best
what?
tribe.
Wins what? Win.
Well, just to survive. Survive
Okay.
is like
Okay.
is winning, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So being the strongest tribe. Ever. What I realized is, you know, the 12 tribes of the Israelites.
Uh-huh.
They're telling us that it was one tribe. There were like 12 clans.
Yeah.
Like small groups of people.
Mm.
It's because when you have 12 groups of people, like clans, they're all separate, but
Okay.
if there's free travel between all of those clans, like natural harmony of the universe, like it let people go to the right place. You know, they find their tribe
The
with
way
their
they want.
vibe.
The way they want to go. The
Yeah.
way they choose.
That's right.
Okay.
So if you want to be a fisherman, there's a whole heap of fishermen over in this tribe.
If you want to be a hippie or musician.
Musician, there's a tribe,
Okay.
a clan, you know, and so everyone moves to where they feel they need to be. Yeah. Please, can I have one as well?
Mm.
So, yeah. So, but the reason why it's 12, there's a few reasons, but 12 is there's 12 horoscopes.
The structure.
There's 12 zodiacs.
Yeah.
12 types of people.
12 inches.
Yeah, 12 is in everything. But they use 12 because it was the perfect number of how people are.
Okay.
You know, 12 zodiacs.
Huh?
It's like 12 groups.
Yeah. 12 months.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, this is how we do it. We build 12 sustainable villages, and each one has a different purpose. Like, because like in Bali, the communities there, like they specialize. All the rock carvers are in one village.
The wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because you get specialists there, and then people can learn faster.
Like when you build like a family and you take the things from your dad and your granddad and things like that.
Right.
You get
Yeah.
them
It's everyone
stronger
sharing, and there's
yeah.
It just that's how it's meant to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, we go to the little clans that we all feel, but like if I'm in the family clan, maybe there's a education and a lot. That's where all the kids hang out. I don't know. Not sure. Maybe there's still. I don't know how you split them into 12. Like whether. So that's still a learning process. But if you're born in the warrior clan, right? But you don't want to be a warrior, you can go to the farming clan, because we're all family. We're all family. So you just go and live with that family and learn how to be a farmer. You know, you do that for 15 years, and then you want to go to the education. You want to go and teach, and then you can go and do that. You know, so it's this free world to learn and grow.
Then actually those 12 the 12 tribes are building 12 by themselves. It's just the time make the things, and then it's just there is no structure like it needs to be 12 like that. It's gonna be 12 by balance.
Yes.
By
Yeah. It's all.
It works like that.
And it's this universal number. Like and so the way, like the optimal, what we have to do is design an optimal system for humans to live in, so we can be happy. You know, and that's by raising consciousness, like making your tribe vibe higher. You know, and so how do you do that? You have lots of parties, but you also have the whole tribe is on healing. Like we specialize in healing with using all different stuff. You know? Wow. Yeah. And then people start coming here to heal. Yeah.
Nice.
But we have we have great parties. one of the clans I thought would be the plant medicine shamanic clan. You know, you just have a whole group of people that are all shamans.
Lot of shaman.
Yeah,
It's not the one. Is one shaman? Is
Have many, right?
heaps of them.
Fuck
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so
Yeah,
much
man.
you could do. So that was longer than 5 minutes, but that's what I've been shown, and so now I'm gonna make it happen. And it's So now that's why I'm doing this podcast.
That's good.
I fucking love it.
Even in this own community, we could have or this own tribe. We could have 12 different small communities in this own community. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like building a system in the system, and then
Yeah, like I think they called them families, like groups of families that were in the clan. Yeah, like the Italian families, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's how they did it.
Yeah. Israelis, Italian.
Smaller. Yeah.
See them connected
Yeah.
clearly.
But they had strong families.
Mm.
You know? That held them together as
Mm.
well. But then they all intermarried. You know, like the families would intermarry, so that would build the connection between all the families. Yeah.
So the thing is, let the process happening.
Yeah, I know. That's it. Just that's the hard bit.
Yeah, he's sad, and then
I just want it to fucking happen.
Interesting and
Yeah.
interesting and
Oh man,
like wow.
it's the only way. It's
Yeah.
the only way we change the world.
Yeah.
It's the only way is to build, because I've seen how much people grow when they're in a community. Like they grow the fastest. Yeah.
When they got the freedom.
Yeah.
This
Freedom.
community, your community, is actually working on giving freedom to people. It's the main things I remember. You know, just like be yourself.
Yeah.
Express yourself. Go to someone. Welcome someone. Just be free and listen, talk, do something. Just be yourself. Be as you are.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like to me it makes perfect sense, you know. And I see it now. Like that's the cool thing is like actually doing it and seeing that it works. To be free is that's when people have become their best self.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You can see them being themselves, and then
yeah, and then they start shining. And yeah.
And then there is some other one shining already, which is shining.
Right.
Wow, spreading
100%,
that.
and that shines on others and
Do that kind of avatar things connect together and fireworks.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I believe is why we haven't, like everything has been told to us to not ever live in a community. Like there's so many subtle programmings to make us not come into community, because that is how we like change things when we come in community.
Scared the main system we are working on.
Exactly. They're trying to isolate, like break us up into individual, but the same
But
people.
the system is here for us first.
It's meant to be.
Yeah.
It's
like that. So when we understand that, like that,
but that's why communities don't exist, or tribes. You know, they've split. All the tribes have been broken up. You know, they no longer exist. Yeah.
Then we rebuild them by instinct. It's normal. Yeah, sure. Always when you do something, there is always walls coming, and then things to afford. Always something try to break you down. Always for everything.
Everything. And it's like, it seems like it's deliberately stacked against us to stop us from like rising in consciousness, because that's when we find our power, you know. And what I've realized is how we rise in consciousness when we're in a group of people. Like that's the power, is when we all come together with the same vibration of people. It's just like just grows. Yeah, we expand very fast, and that's why it's seen as a thing we shouldn't do. You know, yeah. It's difficult to have it, and I think we don't even know how to make communities. Like, I think what I'm realizing is as soon as you put any rules in place, things start going wrong. You know, any restrictions, like you've got to have freedom. Has to be free, and like I was talking about it, you got to have trust. Like you got to trust people. Yeah.
Then the challenge is here.
Yeah.
We all have that challenge to push yourself on the trust, and then to open about the trust, and then to reset yourself like fairly trust. But there's something.
Trust is important. You have to put trust, because when you trust someone, there's respect happens, you know, and then you can start to build a family with that. I guess. Yeah. There's no trust, then nothing's ever gonna work. Yeah.
And you can spread the trust.
Yeah, exactly. It spreads totally. Yeah. Yeah, you're French, so hey, this is cool. Have you know the Merovingians? Do you know who the Merovingians were? Yeah, there's like a dynasty, the Franks, the start of the Franks actually. In like it was 500 after the Roman Empire fell. The Merovingian dynasty came into, and they built a kingdom, and it was like Germany and France. It was almost all of Europe, and they ruled for like 300 years.
About?
And they were
500 to 800.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but that was the start of the Franks.
Okay.
Yeah, but they had a system of governing which was really unique. Like the king had 4 wives.
Okay.
Yeah, like they all grew their hair long.
Oh.
Yeah, and they were considered like the kings that the do nothing kings. Like they allowed their kingdom to like be free. They were free. The kingdom was free. Yeah, it's really interesting. And we have a saying in English: to be frank. To be frank. Say
to be straight.
To be frank.
What does it mean?
You know, frank is like the Franks.
I got a translation a bit different.
So the French, when your original kingdoms, we call them Franks.
Okay.
Yeah. But so we say to be frank, which means to be blunt and truthful.
Okay. Yeah, it's
like these people that's what they prided themselves on, as speaking the truth. Yeah, and they created this dynasty, and there's a lot of there's not so much information out there about them. You know, and anything you read, it's all negative. Yeah, which would indicate that there's something there.
Okay.
And so
still talking about the Merovingians.
Okay. Yeah, I highly recommend looking into them.
Okay.
But yeah, they had a really interesting way to govern, and it was all to do with freedom.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm delving into that world as well.
Nice.
I want to know more about it. Yeah. But anyway, that was why I got on. You're French. You descend from these guys. Yeah.
Nice. You man.
Yeah. So we did have another mic over there as well, but I'm not sure where it went. Not yet.
Have we got people here online?
I don't know. Probably not. But the cool thing, like for me, it's also important just to get it documented out there.
Huh?
You know.
Is that recorded? The
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's recorded. It goes
Nice.
straight to YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, so it's on.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can replay.
Yeah.
anytime.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of the stuff is recorded from YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah. It goes straight to YouTube. Yeah. So yeah, bit of fun. What do we got? Yeah, man. So it's good, huh? You get these on and you just like go into a world. You should try smoking a joint as well.
Yes.
I've got some actually. I've got here. I've got some. You want some? This man gave it to me.
The best.
This has lasted me so long. Yeah.
Have you put one of those ear things on your?
Hey? Oh, really? No way.
Have you
Oh,
put one of
sweet.
these ear things on your ears? Did you try that? It's my first time, man.
Oh, it's not
you
plugged
need
in.
to try that.
Not plugged in. Not plugged
No,
in.
nothing anymore.
No.
No more. Not enough stuff.
No, it's not plugged in. The mic's not plugged in. The headphone jack.
Whoa. See, just check that. Just check that. No, but it's like it bring you another planet. Come. Like you want to talk, you know? You're just like, oh.
Hey man, how you going? So it's pretty cool, huh? Yeah. You drop into another world. Yeah. So it's a lovely joint, this one. So Russ rolled. Really? Love it.
I didn't stop. I was busy.
I'm listening to myself here. We're just saying how cool it sounds with the headphones on. You just really drop into a world.
Yeah, I've never experienced. It's a bit. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't feel stage fright.
No,
No, it's cool. It's just different. Yeah,
it's
cool.
nice because
Yeah.
with the ear stuff, it brings you inside, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
The vibration and that some things I don't know. It's nice.
Yeah.
Like.
So we were talking about solar today.
Was ya?
Yeah, with you. Yeah, no, because I really want to do a big solar farm here.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm like, how do we set it up using obviously as cheap equipment as possible, but like ideally all second-hand stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
But you could have like 20, 30 kilowatts of solar here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like pretty easy to build the frames.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, and then you could start exporting it, or like I love the idea of having people with it. There's so many people with Teslas now. You could get them charging off renewable.
Yeah, the thing with Teslas I've found is I don't think our climate's suited
For the
specifically for lithiums.
Yep.
Like I've got a lithium in my van.
Yep.
But if I get water inside that case of that battery, the whole van's gone. They'll have to virtually bury that van. No amount of water will put it out.
Oh, because it blows up, or yeah.
Once they go up, water just makes them blow up more.
Yeah, sure. But g'day guys, how you going? But I mean, that's pretty unlikely event, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So
I built an explosion-proof, gas-proof box.
yeah,
to
sweet.
try and
Yeah, so you know how to do it properly. That's good. You know, that's important. Yeah.
there are risks.
You should see you should see my solar wiring. I tell you, if you saw it, you'd probably be.
Well, I've got all my gear sitting in Denmark in the trailer.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it'd be good.
Because
It's a good thing to reuse the panels at the moment because they in Australia there's no recycling program for solar panels at the moment.
Right.
There's basically the recycling program is, I know personally recycling guys that get the panels from big companies and insurance jobs, they have to take the barcodes out, cut the barcodes out of them and cut the sides off, the aluminium sides, and the glass and the actual panel itself is too hard to separate. So they chuck it at the moment in Victoria. This is where I knew the guys. They were chucking it in a hole next to a main water source, which there are toxic chemicals inside the solar panels.
Yep.
And over a certain period of time, they will break down and leach into underground waterways.
It's funny because when they crack from the glass, I've seen that few times already. When the glass crack, it's super easy it's instantly crack like a side windows car, like a million pieces.
Yeah.
And you can take them like a tape, and then you have the panel on one side and the glass on this side.
Yeah, but in
like
Australia there's nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. There are machines in China that can crush down the panels, but we don't have that here yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's key to
Just reuse them. Yeah, because they still have a lot of life in them, right?
There's 30 to 50 years life in these panels, and there's minimal chance that anything's ever going to happen to them.
Totally.
And generally, when you get them, they're 2 to 5 years old. It's just ridiculous. All these companies, they keep upgrading, and there's so much grid problems and shortages. Why not just add more panels and fix the grid problem? But it's just upgrading, and then they chuck the old panels.
Yeah.
When
we could
it's tiny power, but they could have double the power.
100. Yeah. Well, if you've got the space to put the lower wattage panels, why not use them all?
Yeah, but if you have a space, you have a space already. If you find solar panel, you feel like you're gonna find you have space first. Okay. So if you have space, look, I got that bus. Just bought that bus. I'm gonna cover it on the top.
This is the man you need to speak to.
And then boom. It's a lot of power. It's not the sound system and everything. And then you're gonna be double sound system. And then the power of everything is gonna be like easy going from the solar panels.
Sure.
Easy.
Yeah. It's wild. It's wild how much power you get from solar panels.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
I know. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I'd love to work on storage, how to store it.
Yeah, well, I've been fascinated with water storage.
Yeah.
Over the years.
Yeah, same actually.
I think after all I've been sort of researching this stuff for nearly 10 years now, and I find if you've got a large water source, you can transport it uphill with solar panels through the day without batteries, and your water tanks are the batteries.
Yep.
So you just trickle it down through a turbine, and the amount of power you'd need is it'd be far more greater than what you could have off a solar system.
Yeah, that would be. I've always wanted to do that actually.
Plus you'd have the water source.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have to pay all this money for the batteries.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I just wonder how much head you need.
Well,
because we've got, I think it's 30 meters. That might be enough. From the bottom of the property to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, just build big tanks or something.
Yeah.
It's not something I've really I've wanted to delve into it, but haven't properly yet. But there is a guy that I know that could be able to point us in the right direction.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it'd be really cool to investigate. Because if you've got heaps of solar, you've got heaps of power during the day to pump heaps of water.
I've set up solar
large
pumps
amounts
and
of
that
water.
so that
Yeah.
they don't need any batteries.
Yeah,
A lot of
that's it.
people, things like farmers, they think that they need to pump their dam water. They need solar panels, batteries, solar controller, all this stuff. When really you just need the panels, the right voltage panels, the right voltage pump.
Yep.
And that pump will just draw whatever the voltage that it needs out of the panels.
Yeah, sure.
I've set up pumps where they still run in the rain, hail or shine, basically.
Yep. Is it a 12-volt pump, is it? Or is it got
I basically use 24-volt pumps.
Yeah.
Just you can use thinner wiring.
Yeah.
The higher the voltage, the thinner the wiring you can use.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get like you can easily get 24-volt panels.
Yep.
Generally, they're about 28 volt.
Yeah.
And house panels are about 40 to 50 volts.
Yep. Yeah, okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, right.
So if you run like generally your general caravan panels, they're fine. But the more that you have, years ago I had the impression that the more panels would blow up a pump if you had too much power there.
Yeah, sure.
But it's not the case at all. Yeah.
Pump just works better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just draws what it needs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another storage method I was reading about was they build these huge towers, and then they've got these like 10-ton blocks, and they just wind it up over the day so it gets to the top, and then at night they let it, like gravity, move it, and that's how they get the turbine moving, which I thought that was pretty cool. You know, so you could probably find a couple of big trees and put off one of the branches, but I don't know how much power you'd get out of it. You know. Yeah. But yeah, there's cool things like that you could do. Yeah. Heaps of stuff. Yeah. And of course wind turbines and fucking hydrogen, make some hydrogen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, years ago I've got these crystals I collected from a property I was staying at. And I worked out an electrolyte solution and connected them all with copper wire, and I can actually get a voltage and
sweet.
run a small light permanently off those wires, and I've never found that battery to actually die.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
I wanted to look more into it, but haven't had the
Sweet, man.
right time. And
Yeah. With crystals, certain crystals.
I've always thought there's that source that's out there that's available.
Yeah. It's just trying to find it.
Yeah, it's a matter of finding it.
Yeah. Well, that's like
It's forgotten.
totally, because if you think about electricity, right? Before electricity, no one fucking knew it was existed. Like it was before. No one had thought of electricity. Yeah. So it's the same. There probably is that. Like there is that force. Yeah. But we don't really know.
The majority of us is electricity.
Sure.
Like when you hook up a multimeter to yourself, it reads.
Yeah. Electrical current.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Everything's an electrical being, and it's just a matter of connecting with it.
Yeah, and that's where we don't know much about crystals, right? We know they got power. Yeah.
We guess.
Yeah. Hey?
We guess.
We guess, yeah. But we're drawn to them.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's what I read. Dragons, they don't hoard gold and silver, they hoard crystals. Yeah, because crystals have got some sort of like wisdom or knowledge in them, trapped in there, and so they collect the ones that have got this wisdom in it. I like that story, you know. That's what I believe.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
So I'm sure there's way more like I've been looking into the 12 tribes, and like there was 12. They had 12 stones, 12 types of stones for each tribe. Yeah, so they obviously
gemstones.
12 stones. Yeah.
12 different.
Yeah, like sapphire was one. Yeah.
Ruby,
diamond. But they obviously put some significance to it, right? Otherwise they wouldn't use them. So, and like all the kings and queens have all these crystals in their throne. Their crowns, yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of that knowledge has been misused, and
Yeah, definitely. And we probably don't know what truth is for a lot of it. Yeah. That's a cool bit, is finding out.
yeah,
Yeah.
the path.
Clem, can I have some?
Yeah, man.
Can I have one?
Yeah,
Thank you,
sure.
man. Yeah. Nice one.
Could you hear me? Could you hear me talking?
You can just,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not
From
sure
far?
I'm not sure if we get picked up
Yeah,
on this
from
though.
And I'm curious if from here I can. Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
I've got that
I
same
can.
book.
Wow.
Which one?
I've got that one.
Oh, it's amazing, right?
It's impressive because I'm super fan. So you got
Have ya?
everyone.
Amazing, man. Cool. Well, we'll have lots to talk
That
about.
one's in a lot better condition than mine.
Now we can feel a bit
Yeah.
the environment
Yeah,
more.
it's my Bible. I love it.
I've got a lot of rare books. Yeah.
Yeah, I have ya. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, this one's super special though.
Yeah.
It's
Pretty
got.
hard to get.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ordered it. I probably got it 10 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on Amazon.
Yeah.
But so they probably don't print it.
Oh, they still print it, but like in a normal bookstore, I've asked a few bookstores whether they can get it.
Yep.
And only like certain stores, and it's about $400 or $500 now.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know what you paid for it years
Yeah, it
ago.
wouldn't have been that. No. Yeah. I've got the other one as well, but it's not.
the mushroom one.
No, the aphrodisiacs one.
Oh yeah, my mate's got the mushroom one.
There's a mushroom one.
as well.
Oh right. Wow.
Because it's got a small section in it, but
Yeah.
the mushroom one's like that size.
Oh no
Just-
way. With everything in it.
Yeah.
Fuck. Better get that. Yeah.
And what about the aphrodisiac one?
Aphrodisiac one.
Can you
Yeah.
have a look at that one?
Yeah. I'll grab it.
Thank you.
Ah, good. Yeah, it's this book, man. You open it to any page, and there'll be something really interesting in there.
Okay.
I guarantee it.
Then I
It'll
will.
be. You'll have to read it. Is what I mean. You'll be like. Yeah, there's some cool stuff in there. The guy who wrote it must have been just a genius. You know?
Straight to acacias.
Oh yeah, nice.
Been studying acacias for years too.
Oh yeah, cool man. I've got
so many of them.
well I've got along this fence line is the Kumanada.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've got there's probably about 40 on the property
Yeah,
that have
nice.
just started flowering.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 5 years old. No, probably older actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's cool. So they're high in DMT.
Yeah.
So the idea is obviously to utilize it one day. You know? Farm it. It's a farm. Like they're gonna need DMT.
Yeah.
Like once they
Had
legalize
some
it.
good experience with it. I've experimented with it for years.
Yep. Yeah.
Different acacias and Syrian rue.
Yeah. Amazing.
You know Syrian rue.
Yeah. Yeah.
As an MAOI, just
Yeah.
You can actually test the plants and you can get a bit of an effect. No.
Oh no, it's interesting. I turned it off actually. But yeah. No, but that's it's just it's the shaman in us. Right? There's nothing to be like afraid of because we're just practicing our religion. You know, that's our right is the plants. So I don't see it as being doing anything wrong. And yeah, that's why they're there for us. And that's just like nature worship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Wow, wow, wow.
Told ya.
Oh, no.
Homeopathy, that one.
Yeah. Some music on.
I feel like actually if it's the book that if you have one book, the last book you keep with you is that one.
This
you know?
one, totally. Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no, no.
That's why I call it my Bible. Yeah, yeah.
That is,
I got one of the best bush tucker books as well.
Oh yeah.
Made in Australia. Have you heard of Timothy Light?
No.
He was back in the 70s, 80s.
Yeah. Okay.
One of the best illustrated books.
Okay. Yeah. Sweet. Cool. I'd love to. They say the southwest, this region is like so rich in foods.
Yeah,
You know, sea life especially, but I'm sure that all around the land as well.
yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Guys, good night. Enjoy
Yeah. Night,
your
man.
life.
Pleasure.
Yeah, the same. That was so cool. That was so cool. No, not that very dangerous.
Yeah.
thing.
Thank you for the cigarettes.
Is that a cig, you reckon? You?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's yours. Must
May?
be yours. Yeah.
Okay. Puis-
Mm.
You want some tobacco?
No, I'm good. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks.
There's maybe one more cig or something.
No, it's fine. Thank you. Thank you.
That was your lighter?
I think so. Yeah.
What was your name, bro?
Yeah, I did.
What's your name?
That was cool.
See you tomorrow.
Walking on the stairs and on the bus and just I just got granted visa for 2 years.
Hello.
They said that usually they could try to apply for the visa until 2 years. Try, Bob, they granted us 1 year on top of the ship, bam, bam, attack it down. So it's good. Instantly answer.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Huh?
One.
Hello. Okay. So I'm coming back to the podcast. These guys are hanging out at the table, but I've just set the mics up. Hopefully, the sound works loud and clear. Yeah, it's a fascinating conversation to have when people just randomly sit down. Yeah, you realize how alike we are, even the same hobbies and passions. Yeah, that's the unique thing of like Mindful Earth is setting this what I realize is set a vibration in the place that has then drawn in the people of that vibration. So, like, what are the things that we want? The tenets here is like freedom of expression, and freedom to be yourself. And so that draws naturally in those freedom lovers and the freedom seekers, and the ones that are wanting to explore that. I almost call it like the courageous. So the courageous are the ones that are pushing their boundaries, like seeking what their dreams are, like, or even allowing themselves to dream. Yeah, allowing yourself to dream. Yeah, so I've been dreaming a lot lately, and we keep coming back to the rebuilding tribes, because that is the way we raise consciousness, which then raises humanity, and by raising humanity, we're saving this place, because it can only be down if we don't raise consciousness. It can only be down because we're not at a high enough state to be able to see the truth. But when we become to that state where we can see the truth, then we can then start living our truth.
Okay. Oh, you see that bus?
Which
How
bus?
funny it is.
Your bus?
Rainbow bus.
Yeah.
Every day I wake up, I see that bus on the side. I can't believe still it's still too much, just like wow.
Yeah.
Wow, all the rainbows around.
It's pretty amazing. Your perfect bus. Couldn't be more perfect. I know. You got a van.
A coaster, shorter one, ice. We found like Norwego. Super cheap, £5, but magical. Rainbows on the outside, all around, like big rainbows, and inside, really high level professional finish, like with the same ceiling as the original, but all sewn with the same material and everything. I can't believe, patchwork things, perfect, like as the original, with LED inside and things like super trippy, like insanely trippy, and
Just perfect.
just perfect. And everything, I just need to fix every little few wires, worse things, but need to be here. Is the DNA of the bus now. Wow.
Yeah.
Really something.
Yeah.
Something, man. A rainbow. Inside out.
And if you've met Juju, you'd understand, like, these two.
Yeah.
Just like rainbows is perfect.
We come from like a circus van, kind of like red and gold, wood inside, funny hats, things, and we were looking for more room, and we're like, wow, after that van, it's gonna be hard to find something, and then suddenly the rainbows appear, and like, wow. We said the guys, we come, we buy this, don't show people, we give it. And good fun. Is that the mic?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This is what I wanted to do. It's like
Nice.
take away the headphones.
Take the ambience and everything.
And you just talk.
Wow.
Yeah. But then I don't know if you can hear it or not. So
Can you?
testing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hear me? Like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
that's
from
good.
here?
Yeah, I can actually.
It's good because when you put the level on, you can get the ambience of the room as well.
Yeah.
I like that. It was cool.
Yeah. A bit of music. Yeah. It's
You
quite
put that they got the music on
this one.
from they get the music online. The people
They can
listening?
hear it.
Yeah?
Yeah, so you could play it like DJ set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it'd be good. You could even have a little DJ set up and just put
Then-
cameras, you know?
When there is a little things happening or something, you put always online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like when the band's playing.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so you live stream into the world. Yeah. That's what we have to do. We have to like show people how to do it. Yeah, this is not quite as well written as this one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
Looks like a lot of information in there.
still heaps in there. Yeah, totally. Yeah, who'd have thought there was a whole fucking manual on aphrodisiacs?
Yeah. I didn't even know you did that one.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. I'd love to just have a whole sacred plants garden, just like this whole fucking manual. Just have every one of them, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Ah, la, la. Even few.
Even
Even
there's a
I
guy.
just read one. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Random, like.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Totally. I've got some datura and some henbane and some morning glory growing at the moment. So I'm gonna get some hanging pots and put them in here.
The datura, are they pointing upwards
No,
or pointing downwards?
I'm not sure. Oh, they haven't flowered yet. They're only like just this big. Yeah.
You keep that. Then you keep that dry. Or you store them. Or you store them.
They're growing at the moment. So
And then after how you store it, you keep it
I'm not-
dry.
I've got no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't mowed that.
How is it?
Yeah, it's in there.
Wow. Putain,
I've got a heap of tobacco seeds in your trailer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I planted. Yeah, we've got one just growing here. Yeah. So and it's actually got heaps of seeds on it.
You have some seeds, tobacco seeds with you?
Not on me now.
Okay.
Yeah, in Denmark.
Denmark?
Yeah, but you can get some off the plant just here.
Yeah?
Yeah, the
I
seeds.
can maybe make one on the bus.
Yeah.
Raz, he made me a little seed of wheat.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe I can. You reckon I can? If I take
Yeah,
care,
yeah.
I try to put one on the bus.
Grows pretty easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to wait it all the time.
No, I think just like cannabis. Just gotta sing to it, tell it you love it.
Putain, can be nice to have a little tobacco plant. It's beautiful.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, I'll give you. You can have a datura plant as well.
Yeah, okay. You need to read that
Datura
because that's what you need to
That's
read.
that's the scary plant for
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Yeah, I want to read. I want to.
Schwartz was saying he had datura once. He's like, "Fuck that! I'm never doing that again."
Yeah, I want to take that seriously. You know.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's
Yeah.
hard.
But it's okay to have it in your bus.
Yeah. But it's good. It's good to read as well, and then to know
Yeah,
exactly what's going on.
totally. Yeah, there's a farmer near Redgate. He's got this like 30 metre by 12 metre greenhouse, just sitting in the paddock. Yeah, I was like, you get that on the property here, and then you could do a cafe and have psychedelic plants growing.
Like
Ayahuasca, yeah. You
a
can
glass,
have it all.
glass
Yeah,
things. You mean?
Yeah. Well, it's not glass. It's just the frame. They
Okay.
usually put the poly pipe on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like second,
Yeah, the plastic.
the second one.
Yeah.
Rainbow
circle one.
like
Yeah.
okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Eh,
He wanted $5,000 for it.
okay.
So it's like.
But the size you said 5 grand. Just for the
frame.
arcs.
Yeah. But it's super. It's like a super strong one because it's super windy there in the site. So yeah. Anyway, that's another dream, right?
Nice one.
Yeah.
That's a.
You know, most people have never seen a tobacco plant.
See you tomorrow.
You know, most people don't even know what a tobacco plant looks like.
See you tomorrow. I'm Riley.
Most people have probably never seen a cannabis plant. Anyway,
See you tomorrow.
70 meters long. 70 meters long.
70.
70, you said long.
Oh, 30.
30.
Yeah, it's a big structure.
Yeah.
You could even put like rooms in there, you know?
But it's super huge garden and super huge climate.
Yeah.
Like a real climate inside.
Climate, yeah. Control the
Yeah.
climate, Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. Because, as I was saying, like, most people have never seen tobacco. They don't even know what a fucking tobacco plant looks like. It's like, because...
You know much about the wild tobacco?
The Aboriginals, like, traded all over Australia.
It's a family of the nightshade family.
Okay.
The nightshade family.
Yeah.
You like going?
Yeah, they, I know a lot of people that have smoked it with no effects, like same effects as tobacco, but no bad effects.
Yep.
And then on all the council websites it says it's toxic.
Yes, yeah, but that's anything that's good has a psychedelic effect is toxic. Right? Yeah, I don't know. I heard a story of like the Aboriginal, like in October they'd go somewhere in Queensland, like from all over Australia, and to harvest this tobacco. Yeah, this
It grows wild all along the sides of the roads up there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and that's where they went and harvested it. Like, that was the spot, you know. There's my partner's son's father is here, Ben. He's Aboriginal from Alice Springs.
Yeah, I met him at
Yeah. So he was saying like his tribe, they were renowned for. Hey, night.
Izukati, good night.
Yeah, he was their tribe was the orange ochre, like it had some special principles. Night, guys. Night. Yeah, something that they traded all over Australia. That was the ochre that they needed for their ceremonies. Yeah. So they would have been trading so much all over the place, I think. Yeah, which is pretty cool.
all the meeting sites and that around the place, they've all found different rocks, like different rocks that didn't come from that area.
Ah, right, they've just been moved around. Yeah. Be good to know. Be good to know more about how the indigenous connected with the earth. You know. I think that's our next journey, is to go down that path. It's like becoming a shaman again, you know. Yeah, and that's where the plant medicines come into it, because they can show us. Yeah. We've got Manu. I don't know if you met Manu here. He's the older gentleman with the headband.
Yep.
Yeah, cool as fuck.
Yeah, he was going to do a bit of work on my back.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, Jules was saying it's really helped him. He's been, so nice to have a healer here. Yeah. But he's like connects to the North American Indians. So he's like got his like a buffalo medicine drum and grizzly shakers, like grizzly bear shakers. You know, it's like he's a full like connected shaman from North Americans. You know, he said he remembers he saw his past life as like a North American Indian, and he went through so he really connects with that. Yeah, which is cool, right?
Stuff.
Yeah. So.
But you can see he's connected. Like.
Yeah. So yeah, we should reconnect back with the indigenous, and like, there's so much we could learn, I reckon. Learn to dance around a fire again. You know, they dancing to a trance state. Yeah. And I heard that they one way they got the DMT, they used the acacia in there with their paints, and it sort of went in through the skin.
So in the
Don't know if
blood,
it's true or not.
in the blood from the skin.
Yeah, that was while they were dancing, you know, maybe the sweat and
Dogs barking.
Hey?
I can hear the dogs barking.
Oh, okay.
In the paint like that.
Yeah, that was one. Sort of makes sense, right?
Yes, so many things.
Yeah. So you can have such fun, you know, play a bit of music. Okay, we can put some drum and bass on now. Can you hear it? Yeah? Sweet. Getting the speaker back to
taxi on the west, and the rest back in the city road. When I pass the peaks, there is a Thank you for that release of that anyway.
Oh, nice one. Yeah, we're living in an amazing time. Like, there's so much truth coming out. It's like there's so much truth. Like they start like I don't know if you saw like Elon Musk bought Twitter, right? And he's a free speech advocate. Like so he's just gone in and basically they had all these restrictions and what could be said and there's all these freedom like breaches of freedom, like free speech. So now he's publishing how they went about it and who was telling them who what to do and yeah, it's really good. So this opening up speech is so important.
And I feel like we are on a wave like where the whole consciousness is like like a wave, like a tsunami.
It's going through the roof totally.
Everyone's starting like open their conscience.
They really have. It's like an awesome time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why we have to create these centers of consciousness expansion.
I was just looking for another photo, but Tyson. I was just showing Tyson before my mate's all set up. I was telling you I ran on
sweet.
here on hydraulic oil.
Yeah.
But that's his oil processing unit that he's made. He hasn't paid for any fuel for over 10 years.
Whoa. Amazing.
I've got all
What do you
the
have to do with the
diagrams to
oil
make it.
to like burn in diesel? Not much.
Not much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all pretty simple stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I've got
And
all
they
the
just throw it
diagrams
away.
he sent me.
What do they do with it usually?
It depends what oil it is. Like vegetable oil is what he's been using, but it's harder and harder to come by. Now there's putting it in pig feeds and dog food and fucking all sorts of shit.
You going, man?
Thank you so much.
Night.
Night, brother.
Incredible.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're putting in all sorts of shit. So basically, companies have set up trucks, like tanker trucks, to go around and fucking pick up and drop drums everywhere.
Yeah.
But there are still places you can get it.
That's it. Yeah.
But I've found well, the hydraulic oil I accidentally come across.
Yep.
Because my mate was telling me how he was running the wind turbine oil in his Land Cruiser.
Yeah, right.
And I thought I'd let it go for a few months, and then clicked to me one day, or I was running low on fuel when I thought I wanted to get back over here. I thought, how am I going to fund this trip and whatever, and I ended up ringing a hydraulic place, and I racked my brain, and I thought he said hydraulic oil, but it was gearbox oil. And then I started running it in my van 3 months prior to me leaving, and started researching online about 2 months after I started using it, and I couldn't find anything online about it. There's not a thing.
No, interesting.
And I was putting it in straight.
Yeah.
Without no modifications, anything.
Yeah.
And my mates told me brake fluid, gearbox oil, and hydraulic fluid is thin enough to run straight through a diesel injector pump.
Yeah, wow.
And the van actually seemed to run better on it.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, wow. Because I know, I read somewhere that the guy invented the diesel engine. Like he designed it for vegetable oil.
Yeah.
Like that was
Shelby.
Farm oils. It was for the farm, you know, what you could produce on the farm. And then you just burn everything in it. Yeah. Yeah,
well,
I'd love to
can.
have a diesel production plant, you know, whether it's canola oil or I don't know. There's all different types of oils you can grow. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe fucking cannabis probably has an oil in it, for all you know.
Yeah, well it does.
Yeah. But you probably wouldn't want to burn it in your car.
Now the gasifiers are pretty cool, but what I was telling you about.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a definite, because that's a big expense, like gas.
Yeah.
If you could produce your own gas. Yeah.
But you can pretty easily start experimenting and run a generator within a month, basically off it.
Yeah. And you know, fucking Richard's onto producing hydrogen.
Oh, yeah. I've got a few mates that
I guess
are
hydrogen's
experimenting
different
with
than methane, but yeah, so you could use that as a way to, like, I know that just even a fuel for storage, right? For like you create the hydrogen.
Yeah.
And then you store it, and then you burn it in a turbine for power. Like, because Richard he just had a couple of, like, I guess diodes or in the water.
Yeah.
He just had a current run through it, and it was producing hydrogen. Pretty easy.
Yeah, it'll probably work because my mate that makes the oil, he's grown some of the best plants I've ever seen, like for Victoria, 10-pound plants basically.
Yeah.
He's been growing for over 50 years, but he's got 200 solar panels on his roof.
Yeah.
And he's put each line from the solar panel goes around his plants into a diode that heats the ground up for the roots.
Yep. Sweet.
And
So
he's
they
got
grow
mirrors lined all the way around
What a
his
fucking
plant.
champion.
And I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
But
He
his
gets-
actual vegetable garden as well is the best that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's got a philosophy
He's
that
a real gardener.
I'll get him on the phone in the next few days and
Yeah.
have a convo with him.
Yeah,
He's a real
yeah.
talker.
Yeah, amazing.
But his garden, he's got this philosophy where everything just goes back on top.
Yeah.
Like your bones, everything.
Yep.
Just straight back on top. The worms come to the top.
Yep.
You don't need to bury anything. You don't need to make compost.
Yep. Yeah.
You don't need to do any of that.
Yeah.
It's just a natural cycle that
Sure.
just keeps
Just
going.
let nature do its thing. Yeah. Exactly. It seems to be the way, you know. We get in the way. Yeah, you could do so much cool shit. So you know this guy I was telling you about that turned up for a week.
Yeah.
He said that he's like, which I find interesting. He said you've got to go, like, because we were having issues with the council. He's like, you've got to go where they won't bother you. He's like, you've got to build somewhere where they won't bother you.
They will.
Yeah, well, no, but he said you've got to go to the Nullarbor and build. Like,
But eventually they're going to build infrastructure there, and it's going
well,
down
but
the
it's
line.
still a long way away, you know. Like, like that Burning Man, they do it in the middle of a salt lake. So.
What sort of title are you on here?
Oh, this is just a primary agriculture block.
Yeah.
So I'm not like
What
title.
sort of? Because that's what I'm interested in when I buy my block.
Yeah.
Is how I go about it, because I've actually, the last 10 years, I've claimed lots of land all over the place in different embassies and that, and the cops have always come in with the thing that I haven't found with sovereignty. I've worked it out with between yourself as a sovereign, but it doesn't link you to the land at all. And that's the problem with it.
So what's the solution?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was an ABC story of us in Victoria.
Oh yeah. I need glasses now. I'm like fucking. The problem with glasses is you lose them.
Yeah.
Fucking, I need
Or
about
break
10.
'em.
I need about 10 pairs of them. So I'm gonna have to. Can't even read it. I really can't read it.
I got all the proper paperwork in my trailer. I'm thinking about going down in the next few weeks and picking up my trailer in Denmark and coming up for another few weeks. And
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really good. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, I can see the pictures. Sweet.
Wilma and Shelby. What are you doing?
They're having a great time. Look at them wagging their tails.
Yeah, it's really good for them here actually, because I've been stressed about like 1080 and shit in the national parks when I stay there.
Yeah, you do, hey? I've heard a few stories. Yeah, not good stories.
There's if anyone's, I'll let you know if anyone's dog gets bitten by a snake here. Are there many snakes around?
There are.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few do-guides.
I carry, I'm not sure whether you know this, vitamin C injections for cattle and dogs.
Sweet.
It's far better than any venom. If I got bitten by a snake myself, I'd be pumping this shit into me over any venom, because my mate that told me about it, you use this, like he's had Jack Russells that have gone down holes after rabbits and been bitten by a brown snake, absolutely fucked. he's injected them 1 mil per kilo. 10 minutes later, they're going back down the hole after the next rabbit.
Sweet.
But yeah, it's vitamin C injections.
Vitamin
It's
C.
$12 a bottle. The worst thing that can happen to you is you shit through an eye of a needle.
It means surviving. Right?
Yeah, but the problem with antivenin is if you get bit by a spider 10 years down the track after you get bit by a snake, and they got to figure out which snake you got bitten by so they can treat you with that antivenin. But then you can get bit by a spider, and that spider can kill you because the antivenin will fuck up your immune system.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Which the vitamin C won't do that.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah.
I've got 100 ml bottle.
Cool, man. Well, they don't even
carry, which is enough for basically 2 dogs or a large human.
Yeah. Well, if you get bit by a snake, and like the anti-venom's in Bustleton, they don't hold it anywhere around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, vets won't even tell you about this one. The
Yeah.
same mate I can get
Hey! Hey, Teo!
No, not her, that's not her, bar.
No, I think they might eat. Oh, sure.
Crew's off to bed shortly.
Yeah, fuck. We'd make it very fast. That's life, isn't it?
I reckon somehow it'll all work out. Fucking years.
Yeah, the Nullarbor. Have you spent much time there?
Not a lot. My car was having a few issues coming over. I wouldn't turn off on the oil.
Ah, right.
But I figured out what the problem was.
What was the
after I got further to Norseman when I was in the phone reception? The oil was that I was running was really dirty hydraulic oil, and it had a mixture of other oil in it, and it was thicker than the other hydraulic oil I'd previously been using.
Yeah.
And when I turned the ignition on, the car would keep running for another minute and a half roughly. So the injector pump filled up with more like combustible liquid and was combusting as
kept combusting.
Yeah, kept combusting until it
okay.
was worn out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. So like thinner oil maybe, or
yeah, I noticed the main line that come from the injector pump to where it goes onto the injectors, like just the rubber line. It had like weeping oil sort of starting to come up it, so it was like you could tell it was too thick.
Yeah.
But my mate, another mate was telling me, like you get too thicker oil. He had a fairly new Hilux actually, and was running just black diesel oil in it. And he said the only problem you virtually get is because there's only carbon in it. That's what makes it black.
Are you going to the festival, Tyson?
Oh, I don't know, eh?
Yeah. Still haven't decided. No. Yeah. Well, that's a good way to be, right? Just feel into it. I was thinking of going to one, but now I'm like, nah, fuck that. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just gonna,
Evolution one?
Yeah, no, we'll just do something here. Yeah, Evolution was probably going to be the one.
Yeah, I couldn't take the dogs there, that's why I didn't
Yeah,
go.
you can't.
Shelby. Nah, no, the boys said.
Hey! Hey!
Yeah, there's another one.
What's that? Yes. I think so. I have
We were leaving at
Oh,
I think at noon.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I'll be definitely here. Yeah, I'm gonna do yoga in the morning. So, yeah.
After this.
Hang out here.
Yeah, we
Where
go to the party.
Oh, we were just talking Evolution.
Evolution.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think it started today, but tonight it's a little bit intensive.
Yeah, totally.
We go only for.
Yeah. So New Year's is tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We don't party this in Israel, but here it's like a big thing. So.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah, it gets pretty. Yeah, New Year's can be funny in Australia.
Yeah, it's
go
like
a bit crazy,
big
don't they?
events and Sydney fireworks.
Yeah.
Everybody is.
Yeah. Sydney especially.
Yeah.
A big party there. Yeah. Perth though, Perth goes funny on New Year's. Everyone gets really drunk and it just seems to turn into chaos. You know? Yeah. We don't celebrate it the same way as. Actually, that's what it is. We don't have the big fireworks and shit for New Year's in Perth. They save it for Australia Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just seems like, I don't know, it's not quite as festive.
There's another party gonna be for New Year's. They're gonna release the location tomorrow, but it's gonna be 25 minutes from Mars.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Oh no way.
Yeah. I don't know where exactly yet, but
sweet.
You know Byron Porter?
Hey, I wonder if it's going to be at Cozy Corner. It was last year. Yeah.
Yeah, a few mates said, oh, if it's, well, it is the same fellow that's running it, and they said, oh, he normally puts it in the same location.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That'll be like 5 minutes from now. Fuck. Because it was funny that when we had the doof here, the cops were here and they were... Oh no, it was actually only a month or two ago, and the cops came and there was a new cop, so he was just introducing him around the place. Yeah. But I forgot what I was going to say.
The new cop with the doof? New cop introduced?
Oh yeah, doof. Oh yeah, that's right. And he said to me, oh, you were involved with that doof, that party at the Cozy Corner, weren't you? And I was like, I didn't even know. I was like, I didn't even know about it. If I had known about it, I would have been there. But yeah, it was like a. So the cops knew about it, I guess, in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it was meant to be pretty good because you got to walk down to the beach.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've already asked him whether the dogs are right, and he said, yeah, they're fine.
Okay. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, right. So you reckon it'll be here? Probably will be.
Well, yeah, all I know so far is 25
from Margaret.
Yeah, it's about right.
And a mate, Russell, that I was talking to this morning, he knows Byron pretty well, and he said it's normally in the same spot.
Sweet. Oh, there you go. I know what I'm doing for New Year's then.
Are you gonna stay here tomorrow? Well, hopefully. So I'm gonna say goodbye to Jordan and
So you're moving on. Heading which way are you heading?
Maybe bed.
Yeah,
I just
okay.
went to the dance party.
We go to the party.
Oh, the party first.
Right. Gotta get back to it.
Probably head
Get
to
back
bed very shortly.
Hey, yeah. It's almost that time, isn't it?
You already have tickets?
Hello.
Well, it starts with the B, doesn't it? To Bennington or something like that. Is that where it is?
What am I gonna look up? Merovingian. Merovingian. Merovingian dynasty. Alright, Merovingian dynasty. Interesting. 5th century until 750. King of the Franks in the Roman army of northern Gaul. Did they
He's a big boy.
He kept over 10,000 people off at the embassy in Canberra.
Really?
One flight through a Kevlar jacket.
Yeah, fuck, eh?
She's gonna be a big dog.
Yeah, right.
Can't maybe share a bit of Dimitri or one of the
should already be there now. Yeah. It's not wrong.
Yeah.
Wow. It's sad. It's sad because this is all the distance we drove since we left Australia and now we're back. Yeah. That's not so much. It's not much.
And Israel is like our longest driving.
I probably go for more than that.
This is like 5.
Yeah.
Road
You
trip.
could drive to a lot.
Yeah.
But when you feel like you're in movement, then why not you're back in place? Yeah. It's good because like get you out of your comfort zone, get you ready for the adventure. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And you can take turns. You can swap it with lighthouse. 200. What is half of half? You're going to go a little bit deeper into your.
But then I thought yesterday, so I forgot I forgot I had it, so then I went through my and I forgot that I kept it in my house and then I had to close it. That was silly, isn't it?
There's no refrigerator to wait for.
Huh?
There's no refrigerator.
Donald got everything. Why do you think I went on?
Let it maybe have one. That's I've got 3 refrigerator doors, each refrigerator is ice. Keep it chilled. Just to keep it chilled.
The future of humanity depends on how Russia will resist to the Western Empire. You like it or not. According to some spiritual sources, there has been a secret war against the souls of Central Europe and Russia since many centuries. It is where the migration of souls must go in 1500 years, in order for humanity to keep the connection with the spiritual world. It happened already with Atlantis, when the souls were guided by great initiates, before the collapse. For centuries, certain occult groups linked to the Anglo-Americanism have tried to destroy Central Europe and Russia. There have been many wars in Europe to reduce Russia's influence. The fall of the Romanov imperial family was caused by their naivety and the betrayal of the corrupted nobility. Do you know, it was actually the Germans that sent Lenin as a dangerous virus in a leaded wagon to destroy the Russian soul. Lenin's goal was to reduce and eliminate the seeds of a new humanity coming from the center of Europe. Observe how communism tried to destroy Russian roots, with the hyper-materialism and atheism. It brought the domination of dark entities above the Russian spiritual forces. While the physical battle affected millions of people, there was also a celestial battle taking place. Souls connected to Ahriman were fighting against the souls of the children of Russia, who were linked to the leadership of The repeated attempts to harm Russia through a dark Sovietism were not meant to share post-war territories and influence. It was rather to assure occult forces to prevent the awakening of Central of Europe under Christ banner. It stopped with the fall of USSR. The direction taken wasn't expected from the Western countries. Instead of unleashed chaos and tremendous self-destruction, a spiritual presence united the souls to an invisible goal. Some call it as Archangel Michael influence. If Russia were to fall, it would be the end of humanity as we know it.
and the start of an era ruled by machines only. Russia and Central Europe have the ability to provide for all of humanity's future needs, food, energy, culture, and spirit, and offer an alternative to the Anglo-American imperialism. The fate of humanity is actually at risk right now. If you are afraid or hate Russia, it's probably because the poison of harmonic forces has affected your ability to think freely. No matter what happens, we have the power to shape the future. We will all face the consequences of our actions. Those who complain about the hard times must understand that they are facing the consequences of their past lives' actions. They have the power to change the course of human destiny, to be more benevolent and open to the work of the Spirit. Get ready for this and work towards it. Even though it will happen in 1500 years, you will return to harvest what you have sown in this life. Russia is not our enemy, but the guarantor of a spiritual alternative in future humanity. The future of humanity depends on how Russia will resist.
Fascinating.
What's this? I think.
I'm open to every possibility, so I'm always listening to different viewpoints and different thought processes. So TikTok's awesome for that. You get lots of different people's views. It's cool because anyone can create content there, so you're getting lots of different ideas. And it's amazing how many people are actually on the money. Yeah, it's cool. That's sort of, I joked that TikTok it's how ironic, because it's supposedly owned by a communist country, and that has the freest speech on it than, it's got more free speech than Facebook and Instagram, which is owned by Western countries. You get way more content on TikTok, way more important stuff. You get some crazy stuff too, but there's a lot of really cool information. Look at this one. We'll play this, okay?
He declared that it would be impossible to travel.
Start again.
Where von Braun knew something. He declared that it would be impossible to travel to space, that it would take 3 rockets the size of the Empire State Building to have enough fuel to reach the moon.
Nothing ever.
On his tombstone,
He picked this to be on his tombstone for all to see.
19:1. What does Psalm 19:1 say, you might ask? Well, it talks about the firmament. A NASA scientist.
Yeah, so this is what the important thing in life is, to always be open to everything. Now, like, I'm open to a firmament, but my gut feels tells me that there ain't no firmament. It's like flat Earth, you know. Gut feel, we're on a round planet. Like that. This is like, there's a important skill in life is to be able to work out what is true and what's not. Now that's, if you've got that skill, if you can see like truth over bullshit, then you're gonna have an easier life. And so honing that skill is what we all need to do. Yeah. So this firmament thing, you know, like, this is the awesome thing. TikTok is everything on there. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna listen to it, and maybe there is something truth there. But maybe it is a hologram. Like above us is a hologram. You know, like in the Truman Show. Maybe. Still open to it, but my logical brain says it's pretty unlikely. Yeah, but yeah, so I'm not going to listen to it anymore. That one. Censorship, you could say. God is about to reveal who you are to the world. This may apply to you.
You were sent here on an earthly mission to change the frequency of the planet. I don't want to sound dramatic, but you are indeed who we've been waiting for. The strongest warrior of them all, you will lead humanity to a new age. An age of ideas, creativity, wonder, and imagination. Your mind is a work of art. Divine art. Your energy is sacred, and all of your life others have mocked you for it. It's because they see the calling on your life. You are not from this world. They knew this and feared your potential. They will say anything to keep you from rising, a chosen one. Still you rise. Every time. Because the pain you felt in this lifetime will be used to heal the world. And you will go from a nobody to a hero. JXC Late 88. God is about to reveal.
There you go. That was pretty nice. Hey Tyson, have you got any smokes? I'd better have a cigarette. Thank you. Much appreciated. Night, Manu. Alright. Time for a cigarette. So yeah, I have a story about how I got my name, and that's like Boh means I don't know in Italian, and that wasn't the reason why I picked it. There's another whole story behind that, but I came to the word Boh, so B-O-H, and I was like, oh, looked online to see what it meant, and yeah, it means I don't know, and to me that's perfect, because that's what I've realized is the ultimate spiritual sort of path, is like breaking down every one of your belief systems, and then the truth is there. So we don't really know anything, right? The idea that, you know, our mind is where we know things, and that the mind is like tiny. It's like a tiny little iPhone compared to like the universe. Like I've heard the analogy of like a cup of water. You grab a cup of water out of the ocean, that's the mind. And you've got the infinite ocean. It's like, how can the mind understand the infinite ocean? No way. It's not possible. You can understand small things of that ocean, but you're never going to understand like small parts of it. You may get certain truths, but it's entirely complex and multi-layered, and so there's no way. So this is, once you realize that, then you can drop everything, and then what happened, that's the form of dropping your ego, you know. And when you drop your ego, then you're open to everything. It's a paradox. You have to get to the point of knowing nothing before you can know everything. There's many paradoxes in the world. That's the only one I can think of at the moment. Paradoxes come to you. Alright, 1 second. Alright, I'm back. Got some scissors. So, let's listen to another TikTok video. Here's one. Can I? This is for Joe Biden.
I say to them all, you have demonstrated, you've shown your strong stand against aggression in the face of the imperial appetites of autocrats who wrongfully believe they might be able to make might right, and they're not able to do it. To Ukrainian people, I say to them all, you have demonstrated, you've shown your strong stand against aggression in the face of the imperial appetites of autocrats who wrongfully believe they might be able to make might right, and they're not Ukrainian people.
Men, stop fucking scrolling for like 2 seconds.
Alright.
I'm going to give you the key to a woman's happiness
Alright,
right now.
awesome.
Ladies, if you want to stick around and like this video so that it blows up more so that your next boyfriend or your current boyfriend might see it, you may also stay as well.
Thank you.
Hello, men. Let's have a chat. I'm going to say everything that's going to make your girlfriend happy right now. What you choose to do with this information is up to you. Making a woman happy really is not that fucking hard. Just try doing a few of these fucking things and just see how happy it makes her. Every girl wants flowers, at least once a month. It costs $10, it takes 5 minutes to go to the fucking store, just do it. If you think she doesn't want you to open her door, yes she does. When she gets in the shower, put a towel in the dryer for like 5 minutes and then bring it to her as soon as she's done. And look at her fucking face when you do that.
What?
Write her a handwritten note. It doesn't have to be long. You do not have to have the best handwriting. Write I love you on a sticky note and put it on the mirror so that when she goes to get ready, it's just a cute little surprise. Grab her by the face and ask if you can just look at her for like 2 seconds. She will absolutely fucking melt. It's always about the little shit. It's the little shit. It's the little surprises that men do for women that keep shit so exciting. If you're doing little things for your girlfriend and you're keeping shit exciting, she is going to love you, and she will literally do anything for you. I promise, we as females, the amount of effort that we get in a relationship, we will give it back times 10. So keep wondering why your girlfriend is treating you like shit. She only treats you how you treat her times 10. You are so welcome. Men, stop fucking scrolling for like 2 seconds.
Isn't it funny how when you treat people the way that they treat you, they get so upset? Isn't it funny how when you treat people...
If you find yourself constantly running to
Oh no, if we were at war, the Russians wouldn't have power right now, so no. If the United States was treating this like a real war and our military assets were activated, there would not be a single Russia vessel that was not on the seabed already, and every Russian economic and military asset within 500 miles of any coastline would already be in ruins. So, capability. We might suck at nation building, but if it comes to turning things into craters, we are very good. Oh no, if we were at war, the Russians wouldn't have power.
That's just... Yeah, interesting. I wonder what actually, like, how much of the US military is being used in Ukraine.
Oh no, if we were...
You know? Let's say the US is in Ukraine a lot more than we realize. Because the Ukrainians, I don't know how awesome their army was, but I'm sure they're getting lots of help. Yeah, there's so much to know. Like, I'm sure there's a lot more on what's going on in Ukraine than we're told. I'd love to know more. Yeah, I did hear that Putin went in there. The first thing he did was go in and like blow up all the germ, you know, the biological weapons manufacturing places. I heard that rumor, and that, to me, that sounds sort of makes sense. But who knows? Who knows what the truth is? We don't know, but we can guess. We can have fun guessing. Yeah, that's the joy of being a truth seeker. Is like you've got to like weave your way through what's true and what's not, and maybe you never know. Well, you're ultimately never going to be know for sure unless you were there. But you can have hunches. But my understanding of how this universe works is there's just layers and layers of truth. It's like, on this level of truth, yeah, that is true, but on the higher level of truth, it's not true. Bit hard to understand that. How's it? Okay, I'll give you an example. If you're on the high level of truth that we're all one, consciousness, and then you drop down to a lower level of truth where you don't realize that we're all one consciousness, then you might be more likely to be at war with another person. So having the higher level of truth stops you from behaving in certain ways. And that high, so yeah, so truth is just the higher, more truth you understand is the more conscious you are. The more truths. You've gone to the next higher levels of understanding. Mm. And that's the fun bit, is like being this truth seeker where you're just finding truths on different levels. Like I'm going at the moment down the European history rabbit hole and look at all these kingdoms where they actually cared about the people rather than treated them like shit. I'm like, this is this Merovingian dynasty. It's not much on them. But yeah, they seem like they cared more for the people. They were able to unite the Gauls and the Franks, or the French, and all those tribes, like after the Roman Empire ended. So they were obviously doing something right. Where the Romans weren't even able to conquer Gaul. Like obviously the tribes people knew something about the Romans. So we're not joining you guys. But it is difficult to find information. I think there's a lot of spin on these guys. Like there's so many of these like queens and abbesses. Genevella, the patron saint of Paris. 419 AD. Genevieve. She was said to have saved Paris by diverting Attila the Hun away from the city. When the Germanic king Childeric besieged the city in 464, Genevieve acted as an intermediary between the city and its besiegers, collecting food and convincing the Childeric to release his prisoners. Yeah, these are the sort of people we need to know about. Fucking here. Like heroes. Shortly before the attack of the Huns under Attila in 454 on Paris, Genevieve and Germanus, the archdeacon, persuaded the panic-stricken people of Paris not to flee, but to pray. It is claimed that the intercession of Genevieve's prayers caused Attila's army to go to Orleans instead. During Childeric's siege and blockade of Paris in 464, Genevieve passed through the siege lines in a boat to Troyes, bringing grain to the city. She also pleaded to Childeric for the welfare of the prisoners of war and met with a favourable response. Through her influence, Childeric and Clovis displayed unwanted clemency towards the citizens. You know, that's also shown that, like, this Childeric and Clovis, these were the Merovingian kings, that they gave clemency to the citizens as well, you know. Just sort of like, you gotta, like, where do you, there's always, when you're looking for truth, it's like there's always this confirmation bias as well that they talk about. But maybe that confirmation bias is actually just your intuition, you know. You sort of follow a string of truth. And so for me, like I believe that the Merovingians were like good rulers. They cared about their people. And you see here it says, through her influence, Childeric and Clovis displayed unwanted clemency towards the citizens. You know, to me that means that they were, they cared about the people, even people in other states. But yeah, you could say that's confirmation bias as well. So Genevieve has her own abbey. That'd be cool. The church of the Abbey of Saint Genevieve, which she was said to have been inspired. Yeah, look, she's even got a tomb in the church. Wow. That'd be cool. Go and see that. Canons of Saint Genevieve. Wow. So she's a saint. She became a saint. Wow. Cool. Nice. Yeah, there's so many people from history we can look up to. But yeah, it looks like she was a very kind woman. But who knows? You never know for sure, do you? Here we go, Clothild, Queen of the Franks. She was supposedly descended from the Gothic king Athanaric and became the second wife of the Frankish king Clovis. The Merovingian, that looks awesome, interesting. Wow, she became the second wife of Frankish king Clovis, to which her husband belonged. He ruled over, venerated as a saint, of course. So she was the daughter of a king. So they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. The first one died at birth, and so the first, and that's their that's what they did, was they produced the following children, and they all became kings. King of the Franks at Paris or Orleans, Soissons. So all the children became rulers as well. Yeah, European history is just like a wave after wave of different cultures taking over each other. Different rulers, so many fights, so many battles, so much war. Well, they're all striving for some sort of system that worked. Well, then you could say there was some that were seeking to make the world better, and then there were others trying to fuck things up. And when I say fuck things up, I mean like keep their people, make rules for people rather than trying to make people more free. They try and lock them down. It seems like that's been that dark and light battle that's been going on for thousands of years, probably since the world began. Look at this. This is a good website. Roman and Merovingian texts, manuscripts. Wow. From the 6th century. That's what we need to do, is be able to put the screen up on the camera. And we could go through. It's like, just do like a down the rabbit hole podcast. Where are we going to go today? Merovingian. Oh, that's the other one I want to look up, is Genghis Khan. I'm fascinated with Genghis Khan because he must have been a great man, because he basically created a dynasty that lasted for hundreds and hundreds of years, and like was across all of Russia and Asia and almost into Europe. But as I said before, like I find it very interesting that he's portrayed as an Asian man when he was a red-headed European. Like that's, to me, that sparks my curiosity. And also that we're told that he was such a terrible man. Like that's what we're told in the West, that he was like a murderous, crazy man. But because I don't think you can create an empire. It's not going to last very long. You got to instill a type of system that encourages people, you know. And so that's more in line with what I feel he did. And I've seen, little snippets of that truth, but it's very hard to find really any truthful information about Genghis Khan, I feel. Here's one, Genghis and the Mongol Empire. Let's have a listen to this one. The rise and fall of the Mongol Empire. Genghis Khan forged the most feared. Fall of the Mongol Empire. Let's watch the first one. Oh, it's a TED Talk. Cool.
Steppe was home to scattered groups of Mongol and Turkic pastoral nomads led by Khans. The people herded sheep, cattle, yaks, and camels. They lived in felt tents and moved between summer and winter campsites. Nomadic women held significant authority, managing these migrations, many of the flocks, and trade. Meanwhile, men specialized in mounted warfare. These nomadic groups often fought each other. That was to change under Temujin, who was born into an aristocratic Mongol family. Despite losing his father at an early age and growing up in poverty, he quickly rose to power by forging strategic alliances with other leaders. Unlike those Khans, Temujin promoted soldiers based on merit and distributed spoils evenly among them. His most brilliant move was to scatter the nomads he conquered among his own soldiers so they couldn't join together against him. These innovations made him unstoppable, and by 1206 he had united the people of the felt wall tents and become Chinggis Khan. The Mongols were shamanists, believing that the spirits of nature and their ancestors inhabited the world around them. Over all arched the sky god Tengiri. Chinggis Khan believed that Tengiri wanted him to conquer the entire world in his name. With the nomads of the Mongolian plain united, this seemed within reach. Anyone who resisted the Mongols was resisting Tengiri's will, and for this insubordination, had to die. Under Chinggis Khan, the Mongols first subdued northern China and the eastern Islamic lands. After his death in 1227, the divine mandate passed to his family, or the Golden Lineage. In the 1230s, Chinggis Khan's sons and daughters conquered the Turks of Central Asia and the Russian princes, then destroyed 2 European armies in 1241. In the 1250s, the Mongols seized Islamic territory as far as Baghdad, while in the east, their grasp reached southern China by 1279. Life within the Mongol Empire wasn't just war, pillage, and destruction. Once the Mongols conquered a territory, they left its internal politics alone and used local administrators to govern for them. The Mongols let all religions flourish, as long as the leaders prayed for them. Although they routinely captured artisans, scholars, and engineers, they appreciated what those specialists could do, and forcibly settled them across Asia to continue their work. The most valuable produce in the empire was gold brocade, which took silk from China, gold from Tibet, and weavers from Baghdad. Gold brocade clothed the Mongol rulers, covered their horses, and lined their tents. The Mongols particularly prized gunpowder technicians from China. With much of Eurasia politically unified, trade flourished along the Silk Road, helped by an extensive system of horse messengers and relay posts. Robust trade continued at sea, especially in blue and white porcelain, which combined white pottery from Mongol China with blue dye from Mongol Iran. But this was not to last. Succession to the Great Khan didn't automatically go to the eldest son, but rather allowed brothers, uncles, and cousins to vie for leadership, with senior widows acting as regents for their sons. By the 1260s, Chinggis Khan's grandsons were in a full-blown civil war over inheritance and fragmented the realm into 4 separate empires. In China, Kublai Khan's Yuan dynasty is remembered as a golden age of science and culture. In Iran, the Ilkhanate inaugurated the development of new monumental architecture and Persian miniature painting. In Central Asia, the Chagatai Khanate brought forth leaders like Timur and his descendant Babur, who founded the Mughal Empire in India. And in Eastern Europe, the Golden Horde ruled for years, until a trading post named Muscovy grew into a major world power. Even though the empire lasted only a short while, the Mongols left a legacy of world domination that remains unmatched today. Trace the rise and fall of other powerful empires with this playlist.
Wow, that was really interesting. I'm going to play it again.
Brothers, uncles, and cousins to vie for leadership, with senior widows acting as regents for their sons. By the 1260s, Chinggis Khan's grandsons were in a full-blown civil war over inheritance and fragmented the realm into 4 separate empires. In China, Kublai Khan's Yuan dynasty is remembered as a golden age of science and culture. In Iran, the Ilkhanate inaugurated the development of new monumental architecture and Persian miniature painting. In Central Asia, the Chagatai Khanate brought forth leaders like Timur and his descendant Babur, who founded the Mughal Empire in India. And in Eastern Europe, the Golden Horde ruled for years, until a trading post named Muscovy grew into a major world power. Even though the empire lasted only a short while, the Mongols left a legacy of world domination that remains unmatched today. Trace the rise and fall of other powerful empires with this playlist.
A lot of interesting topics in that video, actually. Really, really cool. I love how they utilized like artisans and engineers and brought them back to the empire. To me, that would indicate that they were seeking technologies, they were seeking culture, like they were very much into beautiful designs, talking about the silk and the gold weaving. Could you imagine what their tents, their buildings would have looked like? Wow. Yeah, so much more to learn. So much more. Yeah, really fascinating. Nice video. Thank you. So yeah, this is the idea of like seeking truth, is just delving down the rabbit hole and finding, like keeping that open mind always. This one's the rivalry of blood brothers. What did Genghis Khan eat? Greatest conqueror ever. Let's have a look at this one. Interesting.
To the Chinese, he was the barbarian
Barbarian
scourge born from
scourge.
the wastes. To the Europeans, he was a demonic servant, leading a detestable nation of Satan that poured like devils
Seems
from
pretty-
Tartarus. To human history, though, he was one of the greatest warlords in history. We're talking, of course, about Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan was born sometime around 1162 AD, and originally named Temujin, after a Tartar chief that his father had captured. Genghis had been born a member of the Borjigin tribe, and was a descendant of the fabled Kabul Khan, who had done what so few Mongols had ever managed to do: unite the many disparate tribes against the Jin dynasty of China 6 decades earlier. Greatness marked Genghis from birth, not just in the heritage of his mighty bloodline, but physically, with a literal mark caused by a blood clot in his head. To the superstitious Mongols, this meant that Genghis was destined to become a great leader. Young Genghis, though, would have a hard education and survival ahead of him, amidst the various clans that made up the Mongol lands. When he was just 9 years old, his father took him to live with the family of his future bride. And on the return trip, his father encountered members of a rival tribe, who invited him home with them to share in a conciliatory meal. Believing that the rival tribe members meant to bury the hatchet over past transgressions, Genghis' father agreed
Alright.
and dined with them.
We don't need to listen to this one. The interesting thing is that Genghis Khan's has never been, where he was buried has never been found. Genghis Khan. Yeah. Genghis Khan. What would you call it? Grave. Why Genghis Khan's tomb can't be found. Interesting, huh? Burial place of Genghis Khan. Yeah, what a... Where will it be? When will we find it? I reckon we'll find it in the next 5 years. I think Genghis Khan, Part 1, The Search Begins. National Geographic. Interesting. I'm on a quest.
Of the man who ruled one of the largest empires ever known.
Wow.
Genghis Khan. It's the most incredible archaeological puzzle of the last millennium.
Wow.
Thanks a lot. This is me. Can anybody in this room guess which one is me? It's that one, right? And that's my grandpa, my grandma sitting around all their grandchildren in Hong Kong. My grandpa used to tell me all the time that he thought that, that we had come from the north. And he told me to study hard, to do well in school, but to be curious about those sorts of things, to try to figure out where we came from, to always know where we came from and who we were, right? So I did study hard. There's me at a microscope, right, studying hard. And then one day I ended up with this PhD in engineering. And I thought about my grandpa. I thought about this guy who, he grew up at a time of war and he traveled all over China, but he never made it north. And I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to do this. And I saved up a little money and I bought a ticket to China. And I had this plan. I thought that I would go to the outskirts of the capital of Ulaanbaatar and I would buy a horse on the outskirts of the capital. I'm just like a freshly grad student, right? I'm like, I'm gonna buy a horse, I didn't know how to ride a horse, yeah. And I I was gonna go out into the middle of nowhere, and I was gonna live with these nomads. And when I had to come back, I would press home on my GPS, you know, get back to the capital, back to the same place that I bought the.
All right. Too much talking. Not so funny. So yeah, you don't have time to listen to all these things. So you just want to get the juicy bits.
There's literally not a single one of the imperial family, he or his sons or his grandsons, anybody, not a single one of their tombs that have ever been discovered.
Wow.
It's like it was just
That's
this
cool. No tombs discovered.
whisper of history, right?
Right.
But he also created this world which we see today. He had a system of meritocracy, which was far beyond its time. He created the first global currency. He installed a uniform written language that he instated across all of the lands that he dominated.
This is Genghis Khan, this terrible person, right?
Which practiced religious freedom.
Yeah. He was a great man.
We don't really know that much about him, right? But he changed the world. And maybe if we can go back to this zone, this Ikorik, this forbidden precinct, maybe we can begin to piece the story back.
I think this man has the same idea as me.
Then we can start knowing more about the truth of this story.
Yeah.
So that's me. That's where I was, right?
Bring it on, man.
I just finished my PhD in engineering. I thought, well, maybe I can start using my mind in a way that will allow me to answer these questions, right? I can use satellite imagery. I'll get the world's highest resolution satellite imagery. I will use this over the entire region of this Ikorik. I'll scan it with 0.5 meter resolution imagery. Then I'll use drones with cameras on them, and I'll take pictures of the Earth where the satellite imagery told me things were you know, a little bit off or weird or something that looked ancient. And then I'd use things like ground penetrating radar, like magnetometry, like electromagnetic induction, to try to scan the ground and find things in the subsurface that were off. And I would use these tools because the Mongolian belief is that if you disturb the tomb of Genghis Khan, the reason why that area was so forbidden is because if you disturb this tomb, that you might cause this curse that'll end the world, right? But I quickly realized, how am I going to find anything? I've got 6,000 square kilometers of data in which one pixel is less than half a meter in resolution. I've got literally a lifetime of work to do just to sift through this data to find that tiny fragment of information that might be weird. This is my data, right? Can I have people help me find something like a tomb, you know, something that I don't even know what I'm looking for, right? Can anybody tell me, if I said, if you had to find a tomb, what you would say? I mean, in this image, does anybody see something that looks off? Yeah, right? You know, these little things, right? That looks modern, that looks like a river, and what is that, right? We thought, well, that's simple. So let me make it simple for everybody. Let's make it easy for people to do this. Let's make it so that you can tag data easily. We'll chop up all the information into all these little tiny little bits, and then we'll make it simple and easy for people to see what, you know, to place dots and tags on things that they think are weird.
What's going on?
And we built this thing, and we put it online, and we thought, well, this is how we'll do it. We'll create this website where we'll have people sifting through data, and then every single day in the field, I would download this data with satellite communication links, and I will go and search for those sites of interest that are identified by the crowd, and then I'd blog back. In less than a few months, we started collecting data that exceeded over like 2.5 million human-generated tags. And then when you look a little closer at certain regions, you can see each one of these dots is an individual tag by a person who was sitting on their couch in San Francisco, New York, Washington, D.C., and when they converge, you start to see things, clusters, right? When you pull away the data, you see those same tiniest little nuances of something weird.
That's cool. How do we find... Oh yeah, part 2. Part 2. I want to watch that now. Part 2. That's super interesting. Like using crowdsourcing to help with finding and doing work. But obviously it's donation based.
You know, we brought together this team. We started packing up. There's Fred Heber.
People just want to do it because it's their passion.
We got to this point where we passed.
It's what they want to do because they love it.
There was a gate that was guarded by these Mongolian soldiers, right? that essentially had been stationed there for 800 years. I'm serious. The descendants of the Turkids, these in place by Genghis Khan himself to defend this region, the İkkorik, this zone that, he closed off to anybody outside of the imperial family. Marco Polo wrote about this place, right? The history of the Mongols was written by historians like Rashid al-Din from the 17th century. He wrote about this place. They wanted to go here, but they couldn't. And for the first time, I'm entering into this zone. I'm on that journey. We take that data. We had the GPS points now, where the crowd had converged. We could mathematically calculate where everybody had converged and clustered. And we started looking, and you can see where people had converged. These little clusters of tags would result in, us finding things like this huge Hirixer, which has been here for 3,000 years. Right? We started scanning this region. This is a magnetometer, and you walk back and forth in these lines, and you add up all this data, and of course the sheep come after you every once in a while, and the result is you create these maps of what's under the subsurface, right? There was some metal underneath this rectangular mound. We don't really know what it was, but we don't believe it was, what we're really looking for. So we pushed north, we pushed deeper into this region of this İkkorik towards this mountain, right? This place that legend has it Genghis Khan went to every time he went to war, right? He'd go there and pray to Tengri to say, well, am I okay here, and then he would go out to wage war. He'd head out every single day up into the upper reaches of this mountain range to hit all of the different peaks to try to see what people were tagging. We'd fly these drones across this whole region with cameras on them to look and see if we could see things that were a little higher resolution than what we were seeing from space. And we're moving down off the side of this mountain, and literally this storm just starts descending all around us. You can see this big rain cloud coming at us. Among it was lightning and thunder, wind, and it started blowing all around us at this rate, which was, really terrifying, because there's no trees around you to duck into. We had to move almost a mile down off this ridge, down to those trees, just to try to get down below the tree line, get down into the undercut, but we're so exposed, and we have these big magnetometers hanging off of our back. We ran, and the wind started blowing, it just started gushing around us, and you couldn't even hear each other. And as we're running down off the side of this mountain, down the southeast flank of that mountain, what would be the sunny side of that mountain, what the secret history of the Mongols had described as being where Genghis Khan should be buried, all these trees started falling down around us. And, it was really, it was almost like the mountain was showing us its underbelly. It was showing us a window to the subsurface. And it would be in the roots of one of those trees that my life would really change.
Wow.
My geologist turns to me and he shows me this thing, and I'm looking at it just in the roots of this tree, and it's this lion face. We made a plan as we're walking around. We're like literally walking around across this grass, and the earth is crunching underneath me. I could feel like I was stepping on something. I could hear it crunching underneath me, like. And we agreed that it was okay to just look under the grass like it was a rug. We'd just stare barely underneath this thing. We'd look underneath the grass, and we were standing on a roof. And as you look at these pieces that are in the subsurface, it's this part of this temple. We started finding horse bones.
Wow.
Tons of horse bones. We sent this data out to get radiocarbon data, and it comes back at exactly our sweet spot, right? Somewhere between 500 and 800 years old. Genghis Khan died in 1227, about 800 years ago. So Fred and I, we started making a plan. We started mapping out this region with whatever tools we could find. We used cameras on our drones, and we created this 3D photogrammetry map of our surface. Then we started using things like ground-penetrating radar. This is an 8 antenna array radar system. We're doing a virtual dig. We're trying to recreate the unknown in virtual reality, because we can't actually go there and pull up the earth, right? But I feel like I didn't really even have to look for this artifact I just had to look at what was happening around me and realize that the people around me were telling me that the history was still alive. The artifact was in the experience. Did we find the tomb, or did each individual in us, each individual in this group, they find something in themselves?
Right, next one. No. Number 3. Must be this one.
I want to leave you with this one last little story. This story about the moments before my day of reckoning, really, okay? On our last expedition, I came down off this mountaintop, and these trucks pulled up to our camp, and there were shamans. It was these 7 shamans who had showed up at the base of the Burkhan Khaldun, this mountain, to pay tribute to Genghis Khan. And Professor Ishtorsh comes to me and he goes, Arbet, the head shaman wants to see the leader of our group. This is the moment before, I have a little bit of video, not a lot.
Can't say I'm not nervous.
I'm terrified, okay? Like, what's gonna happen here? And these guys are running around preparing, and you've got that arrow, pointed up in the mountain, and the shaman is putting on his gown, and what else can I do? You couldn't even see his face because it was covered in this black felt that wouldn't allow you to see his eyes, but he had these big eyeballs painted onto his headband and these huge feathers.
Wow.
These huge, massive feathers that went from, above his headband into the sky. And he had these massive dreadlock-like things flapping around him as the pounding got more and more intense. Boom, boom, boom, over my head, and my heart started pounding with the same rhythm underneath him as it's pounding over my head, and I'm literally stuck like a stone to the ground, terrified. And then it just stops. And he falls to the ground, he just sort of collapses. And he just asks me these really simple questions like, what's your name? When were you born? Then he asks me, why am I here? I'm sitting there and I try to give this great explanation, the whole deal with the technology and the search and why we're doing it all. And it's a long explanation, and it gets translated into Mongolian, and a little bit gets lost there. And by the time it gets to the attendant who's translating it from Mongolian into ancient Mongolian, it's like 1 or 2 words, back to the shaman. And I'm like, well, didn't really work out. And I'm sitting there, and the shaman he doesn't even care, And he starts talking. He's like, it doesn't matter about the technology. He says, I was sent here by my own soul to try to know more about my past. And it's my intentions that matter. And he says, go off and tell the world about this story. And then your intentions will be true. For you will have followed through with what you told me. Stay true to your traditions, stay true to your honor. tell the story of our mountain. So today I'm standing around you, at the National Geographic headquarters, years after I launched this project, which has totally changed my life. And you are just so deeply in my heart, the edge of that journey, the continuing part of that. You are the reason why I did it all. And now you are part of that whole story. So, thank you very much.
What did you find? He didn't tell us what he found. Did he find the tomb? Obviously not. Well, let's read this one. Interesting. Well, there's so much cool stuff on YouTube.
I'm on a quest to find the secret burial site.
Wow.
The forbidden tomb of the man who ruled one
There's
of the
so much-
largest
there's so
empires
much cool
ever
stuff.
known. Genghis Khan. It's the most incredible archaeological puzzle
Alright.
of the last millennium.
Still is. Oh, here we go. Alright guys, it's probably my bedtime. This is a film. The Tomb of Genghis Khan, The Secret Revealed. French TV. Let's see if they found it. Teo. Bhutan.
Oh, darn it.
Darn
I'll
it.
try and land it over there. We've lost a pad. I don't know if it's okay. The camera, it hit something, but it seems, yeah.
Alright. Okay guys, thank you for listening, or thank you for participating in our chat. I hope next time we get some audience members and we keep on talking. Much more to come. Much love. Bye bye.